Hi there, welcome to Joshi'ing Around Weekly, a podcast in which we will discuss the most important shows, the best matches and the hottest topics in Japanese women's pro wrestling on a weekly basis. I'm Tim.
And I'm Eric.
And welcome to the show. Hello and welcome to the fourth episode of Joshi'ing Around Weekly. We are recording on September 30th, 2025, and today we're going to talk about the lineup for Marigold's Grand Destiny 2025 and the participation of Shirai. Then we're going to cover the Stardom Korakuen show from September 27th. Which will probably lead to a deeper discussion. We will also cover in the same vein Saya Kamitani and Hanan wrestling on national TV in Japan, and generally have a bit of a discussion about maybe some end of year awards, I guess. We'll see. We are then gonna have some quick reviews of Tokyo Joshi Pro's show on September 27th, which was the Haruna Neko graduation show. The Sendai Girls shows from the 27th and 28th September, and the Kyushu Pro match, Sareee vs. NORI. After that, we're going to go into the indie zone, which will have Miyuki Takase's 8th anniversary show, and also previews for Seedling, Ice Ribbon Diana, AWG, and the Stardom New Blood shows. After that, we have our little match of the week segment. Right. Hey Eric, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good. This is going to be a 4-hour podcast, isn't it? looking at that rundown, but we'll see. We'll see how we get through it. How you doing?
I mean, honestly, it's like the Stardom show is like the big review. Other than that, we only have a couple of short shows to get through, right?
Yeah, we can.
Unless we talk like 3 hours Stardom.
Yeah. But how are you doing?
Possible. Yeah, I don't know how deep I want to get into it on the podcast. I had a bit of a
your podcast.
Yeah, it's just like I had a bit of a rough week generally.
Yeah.
I think we all have that from time to time, like a bit of a struggle. I don't know what it is, like just motivational struggles, I guess, chemical imbalances.
Yeah.
And yeah, that kind of fucked me up this week. I think I'm getting better. I think this podcast is helping a lot because it's really something I'm looking forward to every week now.
Awesome. Yeah.
And yeah, talking about my passion with you. And yeah, I guess it's gonna be fine. I felt a bit bad for like letting some of my obligations like dropping them for a bit. And you helped me out with that too. Which I'm very thankful for. You took some of the load off my shoulders. So yeah, that was awesome. But
well, remember what I say. Like we're doing this for fun, right? Like this is a hobby. It shouldn't be a chore. So like even you talking about them as like obligations, they're not obligations. You're doing them.
Nah, don't get me wrong. I see them as like I want to do this, but at the same time I don't want to let like my friends down, And
well, that's what your friends are there for.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
there you go. Yeah. So I'm glad you're feeling better, and I'm glad that the podcast is sort of like an outlet for you. And I'm super happy to be doing it as well because this is super fun for me. I just get to talk for 2, 3, maybe 4 hours about all of the things I love and share that with people. I had a comment actually from one of our mutual friends in one of our Discords, and they said that from reading the newsletter they decided to check out Diana. Which is like awesome. So okay. My whole goal was if one person like checks out one of these promotions, like I can die happy. So I'm just really happy to be able to bring that to people, and thank you for asking me to do a weekly podcast, I guess, because I never ever would have done one myself. So yeah. Oh, we started so wholesome, didn't we?
Yeah, for sure.
This wasn't planned, by the way, guys. So, yeah.
No, not at all. I hope this didn't bring like the vibes down, but I think it landed
No,
really
it brought
well,
them
so
up.
you're right. Yeah, I think so too. All right. Anyway, right. Should we get into our first topic then?
Yeah, so
do you
this
think?
doesn't go 5 hours. We probably should, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we got the lineup, or some of the lineup, I guess, for the Marigold big show. What's it called? Wait.
Grand Destiny.
Grand Destiny, exactly. We got a second generation showdown, which is Kizuna Tanaka with Yumi Fukawa versus Shino with Michiko Omukai. We got a special singles match between Chihiro Hashimoto and Sareee Yamaoka.
That's fucking
That should
awesome.
be awesome.
That is going to, I'm so hyped for that one.
Yeah, for sure. Then we got the United National title match between Mai Sakurai and Victoria Suzuki. Do you think Suzuki's going to win the title?
If she doesn't, I will be mad and type a lot of messages on Discord.
Then we got a special singles match between one Io Sky against Mayu Iwatani.
Are we supposed to use her WWE name? What do we call her?
I'm just reading off a list. I will always call her Io Shirai.
Yeah, that's what I
just
thought.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe mockingly, I will say Io Sky or whatever. But
Yeah.
we're not mocking her, right?
No, I fucking love
we're
it.
glad
She is what got me into Joshi in the first place. So I guess I'll start. Like I wish I had more thoughts on this match. The fact that I don't have a lot of thoughts says, how I feel in itself, right? So that trilogy. So for those that don't know, Mayu, Iwatani, and Shirai, they have faced each other multiple times, like 5-star Grand Prix and stuff. But the main trilogy they had over the World of Stardom title in 2016 and start of 2017. That is the trilogy that got me into Joshi. Those 3 matches. So Mayu lost the first 2, and then she finally won the title on the 3rd one. If I hadn't watched those matches, I probably wouldn't be watching Stardom today. I heard about Stardom. It was the first match I checked out. I was like, what the fuck am I watching? Io Shirai in particular was absolutely insane. But when this match was announced, I didn't get excited. And I was like, why am I not excited for this? This should literally be my dream of dream matches. And I thought about it a bit. And I think it's probably literally just because of Io's long stint in WWE. So she's still very good. I mean, she's excellent still, actually. Like, she's definitely one of the highlights of WWE. But she's not 2016 Io. And I don't think that Io is, like, ever coming back. So that's probably why I'm not that hyped. Even though I know at minimum it's going to be, like, an awesome match. Because Mayu will go harder than she has before. Because, Io is one of her best friends. She'll probably go harder than she did against Nanae Takahashi when she joined Marigold, because Mayu has another level that she unlocks when she deems the opponent worthy enough. So I'm expecting fireworks. I think I just hate the WWE side of things, and I can't get rid of that in my head. I wish I could take out the chip in my head that annoys me about it, but I can't. So yeah, those are my initial thoughts, I guess.
Yeah, that is the big hurdle, right? The WWE of it all. I like just any involvement of the company in any company I watch. I'm immediately like,
exactly, yeah.
Not skeptical, but like just not in a good mood over, I guess. And
do you know what I think it is? Oh no,
Yeah.
sorry, you're gonna go.
I was just gonna ask you basically if you think that they can surpass any of their previous matches.
No, I think those matches are like lightning in a bottle. And correct me if I'm wrong. Well, I don't know if you were watching back then, or if you know at least the context of those matches. But were those the matches that sort of like put Mayu on the map as like one of Stardom's top stars? I don't know if she won the title before that or not, but that's the impression I got from watching that trilogy. But I think it was very much a lightning and boulder situation. Those are the ones that put Stardom on the map overall. No,
It definitely elevated Mayu up there to be like the one of the top stars in there. I wasn't watching back then, so I had. If you go to the regular episodes of Joshi'ing Around and listen to episode 10 with Viking,
I did, yeah.
Yeah, but like everyone else at home, not now. Later after this episode, of course. He has a very nice. We watched the second one of the trilogy, And
My favorite.
he had we discussed it very broadly, what these matches meant for Mayu, and I guess Stardom as a whole, and Vacay's fandom in this case. But essentially, I think it very much elevated Mayu there. I guess it also put Stardom on the map to a degree. I think what put them most on the map was probably the Bushiroad acquirement, and then later the Utami Hayashishita versus Shuri series.
Yeah, that's true. But I think I remember Dave, maybe the Melts, rating some of these matches, and I think this was like maybe after the 2017 one, he was like, yeah, Io, Mayu, and Kairi were like the best 3 wrestlers in the world. Didn't he write that like in the newsletter? And I think it was like around this 2017, 2018 time, because Io was about to jump to WWE. So
that is very possible.
Yeah, but okay, I think it just feels shitty because it feels like it's a gift ordained to us by like Paul Levesque. Do you know what I mean? I can't really explain it. It just feels icky that like Io is being let off her leash and allowed to do this. I think I hate that aspect of WWE. Like, if I compare it to like other industries, I guess it's normal you can't play for other teams if you're contracted or whatever, but then they're independent contractors when it comes to anything like any legal action. I think that's one of my biggest pet peeves with US wrestling, actually. It's
so weird.
It's the lack of cooperation between the companies, and I love the cooperation in Japanese wrestling. Like, if you look at Naruki Doi's card, he's got his anniversary show coming up in November, and it's fucking insane. It's like an all-star team of All Japan wrestlers and Dragon Gate wrestlers. It's like it's like Shun Skywalker teaming up with Yuma Anzai. It's Kento Miyahara teaming up with Yamato. It's insane. Imagine if we had an anniversary event for the Young Bucks and it had like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn against the Briscoes or something. How cool would that be? But we can't have that. And it's because of their desire to stomp out competition. And I'm not going to give them credit for being like, fine, Io, you can have your match with your best friend. I mean, like, fuck you, it's Io Shirai. Like, why can she not do that just because she wants to do that? So I think that's the part that really annoys me.
When did you watch these matches for the first time?
Early 2024. Yes, I'm a very new guy.
Early 2024. Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out if you watched the big Marigold show last year.
So
Io Shirai was on.
I remember getting so excited for that match. Sorry, I cut you for the context. Io and Utami. It was in July 2024 for Marigold. It was her first match back in 6 years in Japan, I believe, and I was so excited for it. And I remember being a bit let down because I was like, okay, she's still really good, but you could sort of see she slowed down, right? And she wasn't giving 100%, and I wonder if some of that's like a fear of getting injured or something like that, because, you know, WWE would be super mad if that happened. So, yeah.
Yeah, this is also kind of why I'm asking, is because like after last year's match, I didn't really have the feeling that Marigold really gained much from it, you know? I wouldn't really say that I was disappointed in Io's performance as much as I just thought it was kind of like an exhibition match for her. She like just destroyed Utami essentially and did every one of her cool moves and then pinned her. And Utami had like 5% of the match or whatever. And that's like the person they wanted to build as their next big Red Belt champion towards the end of the year, right? Utami.
Yep.
And I don't think she gained anything from that match. And I don't think Marigold gained anything from that match. And that's why I'm kind of a bit like not only did I think it was the greatest match, like in my opinion it was the third best match on that card, which is probably a bit controversial, but
that is controversial. Yeah,
it was. I actually liked the Miku Aono vs Mirai match better than the Utami Io match. And the main event, of course, Julia and Sareee. And so that's why I'm skeptical that this year is gonna be any different, you know. Maybe Io Sky is just gonna come in again and like beat up Mayu for a bit, and then she leaves again. And what does Marigold gain really from that, other than having a banger match? Probably. I'm not doubting for a second that it's gonna be a match of the year candidate caliber match, if it's not a Io solo show like last year. But other than that, I don't think it does that much good for Marigold. They obviously also probably are gonna get a big house from that. I don't know if it's Io drawing by herself at this point, but I'm sure gonna do a big attendance number for the show as well.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, like I still love Io. This has got nothing to do with Io actually. I did like her performance in the last match, but like you said, yeah, it was basically the greatest hits of Io, which is great. If I was watching the match for that, to be honest, I didn't give a shit what Marigold wanted. I was locked into what's Io going to look like. I didn't really care about Utami as well, which I guess is your point. But for a fan like me at the time who only cared about Io, it was a great match, I guess. I think this one will probably be a bit different. Just because knowing these two, Utami was like a huge Io fan. So obviously Utami was going to do literally whatever WWE or Io wanted. I think Mayu and Io will be a lot more equal. Obviously, I think Io's going to win either way. But I think it will be... I think this is going to be much better than the Utami match. I'd be surprised if it wasn't.
And I do think Utami was completely happy with that match last year. I'm not saying that they did Utami dirty or anything. I'm 100% sure that's what Utami wanted. And... that's cool, but I don't think in the grand scheme of things it did that much good. Speaking of Utami, we weren't even ready with the lineup yet. She has, of course, the Marigold World title match against Miku Aono, and this is another point that I'm talking about, right? You already can feel it from our coverage here that like the Io Shirai versus Mayu match takes up all the space. It takes up all the discussion. It's gonna be like. It's gonna blow the world title match out of the water probably. And I don't know if Miku Aono is gonna beat Utami. If she's gonna beat Utami, it's most probably gonna be overshadowed by Io Shirai versus Mayu. But no matter what happens, this match is gonna be completely overshadowed. And it's gonna be it feels a bit like a throwaway title event almost on this card now.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be awesome. Well, it kind of depends which Utami we get. Like I said on the last episode, she has a habit of going harder in previews than the actual match for some reason. So if she pulls out all the stops, I think they can have a better match than Mayu Io actually, because Miku will not allow Utami to not have a good match. She will drag it out of her. So I am looking forward to that. But your point is completely correct. Like the match does not matter in comparison to Mayu and Io. And Rossi almost said as much.
Right, yeah. That was such a funny statement, man.
What was his comment? His comment was, I have a match that might even be able to main event or something like that, along those lines?
Something along those lines. I don't have it on hand right now, but it was kind of insane.
Well, should we move on from Marigold? We've spoken a lot about Marigold in the last few episodes. With the Dream Star and all of that.
Oh, yeah. I think our Marigold fans are happy.
The two of
the
them
Marigold freaks out there listening to our podcast.
Right.
Don't know who that is, but...
I think I'm actually, just to finish off, I think I'm most hyped for Sareee and Hashimoto, actually. that has my hype meters through the roof. I just want them to do amateur grappling for 20 minutes. Also, Hashimoto is doing double duty on that show because she has a Sendai show either in the evening or early I think it's in the evening. So she's doing two shows on that day. So shout out to Big Hash.
Shout outs. For sure. Okay, then we watched the Stardom Korakuen show. Let me just pull this up here real quick. From September 27th. It was a record attendance for not only for Stardom in Korakuen with 1639, but I think for any company since the lockdowns at Korakuen Hall.
That is correct, yeah.
Yes, which is pretty great. And it was entirely sold out with basically one match announced. I mean, actually two, but I think the one match sold all the tickets, honestly. Maybe Hina has quite a bunch of following.
I don't think Hina is selling 1,600 to Korakuen Hall. As much as I love Hina.
Yeah, but I think she's gaining a lot of fans' hearts right now with her performances. Anyway, of course, it was the big Saya Kamitani versus Azumi double title match for the World of Stardom title and New Japan Strong Women's title in the main event that sold all the tickets. Okay, we had in the opener the two youngins, Yuri Ahime and Kikyo Furusawa. Yeah, I didn't have much notes on this. Many notes. I thought it was kind of a fun match. I think Yuria's Devil's what's it called? Devil's move? Devil's kiss?
Devil's kiss, yeah.
Devil's kiss. I think she's kind of figuring out how to use it. Like she did something different with it in the Hina match. Here she like used it more as like a setup for the submission that ultimately she finished Kikyo off with. And that was like my main takeaway from it, that she's really figuring out her ass moves, I guess.
Whoa, you're calling them ass moves now? I thought it was glutes. Last week it was glutes.
I was told I'm allowed to compliment her ass if I want to.
Yeah, I mean, she'd probably appreciate that. If you search her social media, I don't think she's shy, so... Yeah.
Anyway, do you have any major thoughts on this one?
No. I thought Kikyo had a nice enziguri, and I wasn't sure if this was a new finisher, the new submission, or if I just haven't been paying attention to Yuri. Maybe because Yuri doesn't finish matches off very often.
That's what I thought too. And because like she set it up like that with like the devil's kiss, it looked like her new finish to me.
I think it might be, but that's what I got.
And I thought it's good. It's fitting. Anyway, Kikyo slapped her after the match. I don't know if that means anything, but anyway. Next, we had the Cosmic Angels pairing of Natsupoi and Saori Anu, and their old friend Tai Honma from Actress. Defeated Rana Yagami, Rian, and Sayaka Kurara in 10 minutes and 57 seconds. There's probably a bunch of lore here that I don't know about. I don't know how deep you are into the AWG lore between Tai and Saori and Natsupoi. Tai is gonna retire soon. And this was basically her, like... I think she's gonna have one more match in Stardom, set up here with Rana on some New Blood show. But other than that was like, yeah, just she's on a tour a bit right now, I guess.
Yeah, she's doing almost every... I don't know how much I've watched of her in the past few months, doing every single match possible on her bucket list. The only lore I know is that they all debuted together in Actress Girls. I think they're like founding members, like 31st of May 2015. And this was her first appearance in Stardom since the Natsupoi anniversary on the 31st of May this year as well.
Right. I like her a lot, though. I like her whenever I see her. For sure. Okay. Nothing more on this?
Well, I was going to ask you what you thought of Natsupoi's brown hair. She's back to Natsumi Maki's hair color, right? You know, she's been blonde for so long.
Yeah, she used to have brown. That's right. I didn't even really think about it, honestly.
Oh.
I don't know.
Are you not observant, Tim?
Not like that, I guess.
Oh, okay.
I watched Natsupoi's having fun in the ropes with Sayaka. I don't know if that was a fun spot with Sayaka and Natsupoi where like it's hard to explain.
Yeah, Natsupoi and Sareee were taking it easy in this match, right?
Yeah.
they were completely relaxing. I think I saw a front flip kip up from Rian, which I was like, oh, okay, she can do that now. So that kind of made me laugh. But no, there was no other notes on this except they set up Rana Yagami and Honma for the 4th of October at New Blood. So I think Rana has lost twice to Tae Honma. So once in New Blood in March, and then again in Wave at the Korakuen Hall show, May 4th. Honma's won both, and now she's tapped again, so Rana wanted a final singles match, so it's probably going to be 2-1 after this. You know, to give to the youngers before you retire.
Yes, for sure. All right. Next match is maybe the early main event of the evening. It was a spectacular singles match between Waka Tsukiyama and Momo Kogo that went for 5 minutes. I was just surprised what's going on here, but then I remembered that it used to be Saki Kashima in the match as well.
Yeah.
But she fell sick, and so they just made it a singles match. I don't know if Saki Kashima would have made this into a 5-star banger, but
wait, you didn't have this as 5 stars without Saki Kashima?
It was more like 4.5 for me, I guess.
Oh, okay. You took off half a star for the shoot headbutt, right?
Absolutely. That must be it. Nah, in honesty, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be going in. I just didn't care about it at all. Waka won, which is obviously setting up her speed title match against Mei Seira. So
why does she even have a butt gimmick? Like, don't you need like an actual big caboose to have a butt gimmick? It feels like gimmick infringement. Have butt-based offense, but no butt. No?
Do you think she has a small butt?
Okay, come on, Tim. She doesn't have glutes like Yuri Ahime.
Maybe
it's just like that. I don't know why she has it. Maybe her favorite was someone who... Wait, who's the most famous butt gimmick person? Oh, is it Billy Gunn?
Oh, yeah. Probably, right.
Maybe she's a big Billy Gunn fan.
Who was in AEW that... is it Anna Jay?
Oh, yeah.
I think she had a butt gimmick, too.
You think Wakasu Tsukiyama grew up watching Anna Jay? I mean, she probably debuted before her, right?
Yeah, pretty sure she did.
Yeah. Anyway, I had nothing on this. Yeah, I did not care.
I think she's a lot older than Anna Jay, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on from this one. It is a 6-man tag match next. It is the Stars team of B. Priestley, Hanan, Sayahida. They defeated Hate, Fukigen Death, Konami, and Momo Watanabe. It was a DQ finish when people just wouldn't stop killing Hanan with weapons. So at some point, the ref decided that this might actually be a disqualification here after like the 7th weapon shot or something. Yeah, this was also kind of a nothing match except for the finish, I guess.
Wait, was this Bob Sasaki doing the reffing?
Might have been. I'm not 100% sure.
Because normally Stardom refs are pretty good with the interference. So I've seen some really bad refereeing on the indies, like Ice Ribbon, Diana, where the refs kind of really take you out of the match because they don't know how to effectively pull off the interference spots. And I think this is kind of an underrated aspect of pulling them off and having a good match. I think Bob Sasaki and Daichi normally do really well with them. They're like, I think they're world-class referees. In the same way, like you can have world-class wrestlers, referees can also be very good at playing their role, and that doesn't get a lot of attention because it's not really a sexy job. I think Bob was really good in a later match with God's Eye and Natsuko Tora, Rina, and Raka, but I didn't see him mess up this match, or if it was even him, but yeah.
It wasn't, I mean, in the end, it was a DQ, right? So it was just kind of,
but 7 times
he was being
just...
a bit lenient for the first couple of fucking chair shots or whatever it was. Yeah. And yeah.
So I was kind of worried that they put Stars against the most popular Hate members. So, freaking Death, Konami, and Momo, those are literally like the 3 biggest baby faces in Hate probably right now. Mm-hmm. Instead of like Azusa, Raka, and Natsuko, who actually get some sort of heat. I thought they're like sabotaging Stars in a way, because Stars is like the least over babyface group. You don't really want to put them against babyface quote unquote heels. But I think they worked really well to get Hanan over here, and they did proper heelish stuff, and they didn't really play into the babyface reaction that they'd previously been getting.
That is one note I had here, and it's kind of a red line that goes through the show for me. I think I know that like 2 or 3 other moments as well. I think they're trying to get the heat back for Hate. I think they're trying to turn them back into proper heels.
I wouldn't go that far. Just because of the trio stuff with Fukin, Def, Konami, and Rina, they're quite over still as babyfaces. I think it was more isolated in this match. In general, like if you remember like the Osaka show, their defense against Stars, I just feel like they're still playing into the babyface aspect a tiny bit, at least. I mean, did you see at the end here where Happy Sunshine Days was playing while Hanan was getting beat down? Isn't that the funniest shit you've ever seen?
Yeah, that's true. That was That was really good.
Wish you happy sunshine days. And then she's just getting stomped on in the middle of the ring. Like, Konami is literally stomping a mud hole through poor Hanan on the mat, and her AI theme song is just playing in the background. So that's why I think they're not fully going back to heels. But yeah, in this match specifically, they did somewhat try.
Maybe. I just noted later, like, at some point, Ruaka did some really good heel work that just really got booed.
Yeah, but that's Ruaka. She normally is quite good at that.
That's true. And also, like, I thought Saya in the main event did some really
fair enough. Yeah.
healer stuff as well. So I thought, like, maybe in general they are thinking about trying to get the heat a bit back on their side. I don't know.
We can disagree sometimes, Tim.
Maybe it's just a narrative I'm making up to have something to talk about here on the show. We're gonna have a lot to talk about later at the later matches. This undercard was kind of nothing. It's always kind of the case on these Korakuen shows with like the big main events.
Well, while we have
undercard.
While we have Konami here, though, what are your thoughts on Konami? I don't think I've asked you about her. So I've been huge on Konami since the Starlight Kid match in March. I've refused basically any arguments that she might be washed or not trying since that match, and I think she's been motivated since that match as well. And I thought she was really good in this match as well.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think she's having a really big resurgence. I think I touched on this like 1 or 2 episodes ago a bit
we did, yeah.
when, and I'm really happy about that. I think she's looking so much better than she has for like the 2 or 3 previous years, where she just kind of looked sort of checked out, and I think she's I'm really happy about her like resurgence in performance this year, and particularly right now. And I think she's just looking like she's having a ton of fun again too, which is important and great.
So I was going through the Osaka one, doing the review, and I was translating the transcripts, and Konami's promos are so funny. And I don't know if you obviously won't realize it unless you read the transcripts, but they're just hilarious. Like, so when Rina and Hanan were just arguing, Konami's just like, "Man, I wish I had a sister." You know, it's so funny. And then she turns to Fukugen and asks Fukugen death, "Don't you wish we had a sister?" And then Fukugen just yells death. You know, it's just that sort of stuff is super funny. So that's why I think Konami is sort of like a babyface now, just the way she cuts her promos if you read them. But yeah, I'm really enjoying all of her work right now.
Absolutely. Moving on next, we had a 3-way 12-man tag team match, which means 3 teams of 4 people, which sounds great. It was the Cosmic Angels team of Aya Sakura, Yuna Mitsumori, together with FWC, which is Hasuka and Koguma, defeating the teams of Emma Maishima and Neo Genesis, Meisera, Miya Masaki, and Starlight Kid, and the Mi Vida Loca team of Akira Kurogane, Botzilla, Itsuki Aoki, and Rina Yamashita. This was a ton of fun, I thought, but I thought it just ended too soon. It was over really quickly. Like, while it lasted, it was like insanely good and so much fun. And then they only went 8 minutes and it was over. I was a bit disappointed by that. I thought Emma fits well with Neo Genesis.
Absolutely,
like just the style of wrestling. They could.
I'd be surprised if she didn't end up joining.
Yeah, she should definitely. I'm surprised how much Hasuka and Koguma are winning again in Stardom. They were kind of like checked out or like taking a lot of pins a couple of months ago, but now like Husky got the pin here with a big senton from the top rope, and
I think it's just because they're doing a title
thoughts.
Match with Hazuki and Koguma on the 11th of October, so I think
true.
That's probably why. There's nothing that can convince me that Hazuki's not leaving. She's fucking doing Diana dates. She's at the Korakuen Hall show for Diana on the Diana or Deanna. One of them is American, right? I'm British, so I feel like I should know this. Princess Diana. It's Diana.
It's Diana. I know it as Diana too. I wouldn't be surprised if in Japan they just say Diana.
I think it's an American thing, right? Diana.
I'm not sure if I've ever heard them say Diana.
Well, Americans don't say Diana, do they?
I think so.
Oh.
What else are they gonna say?
Deanna.
Nah, I think they say Diana too.
The Americans listening to this are absolutely cringing right now. So anyway, she's at the Korakuen Hall show for Diana, and you don't do that unless you're doing some sort of freelance gig after your contract's up. I think she's 100% leaving, but we'll see.
But yeah, we'll see. Anyway, next up we had the 6-man tag team match between God's Eye, which was Ami Sourei, Kyoka Kotatsu, and Lady C, defeating the hate team of Natsuko Tora, Rina, and Ruaka in 12 minutes. What are your thoughts on this one?
This was the one where I noticed Bob Sasaki, he killed it. He was so good here. So, like, there was a lot of weapon usage by Rina. So, Rina whipped Kyoka Kotatsu. So, it all started off with Rina spitting in Bob's face. She does that spot in almost every match. After he got spat in the face, he went to have a conversation with Natsuko, and Natsuko offered him a cloth to wipe the spit. It looked natural, it looked real, and it made me fucking happy. Okay, I just love seeing little bits like that make it feel real and realistic, and allow me to suspend my disbelief. Again, I mentioned it, I think, on the first episode. That's all I care about in wrestling. Make me believe it's real. And Bob did a great job in this match with getting distracted when weapons were used.
Right.
I've just unlocked you.
I was just thinking how to maybe note that down.
No, leave that in there.
I was just
Eric's point about referees
right now.
Yeah.
Like I noticed here, like I noted down, like it's very apparent in some of these matches how they're structured to give like the maximum experience to the least experienced wrestlers. Yep. That's something. That was just after the like 8th match in a row that it happened. No, it was only the 6th match on the card, but anyway, like they gave Kotatsu so much early on. Like they always have Kotatsu fight against every team member of the enemy team whenever she's in one of these multi-man matches. And it's just very like, it's just by design to give Kyoka as much in-ring time, or any rookie. That's the case for any of these multi-man matches with rookies in them, to give them as much just in-ring time as possible. And I think that's just so smart and well done by them. Yeah,
I've been giving Kyoka maybe a bit of a hard time because I thought she had more experience, and then Kaze, our mutual friend, he reminded me that she only did UWF matches in GLEAT, so she didn't actually have pro wrestling matches. She only started having pro wrestling matches when she joined Stardom in 2024. That's when I was like, oh, she basically is a rookie, and that's when I started being much more lenient on her and be like, okay, she just needs some time and experience, and then she'll probably be fine.
Yeah, that's kind of true. She also didn't like. She just didn't have. I think she did some pro wrestling in GLEAT too, but
I didn't see a single one, to be honest, on Cage Match, unless it just wasn't recorded.
Maybe I'm misremembering then. I just remember that her booking was dreadful. I mean, are those UWF matches overworked anyway, right?
Yeah.
But she was just always getting beat up by some veteran and lost, so that was kind of frustrating. But so she couldn't learn much over there anyway.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's fucking GLEAT, so
yeah. All right. Did you have anything else on this little?
Yeah, Ruaka. Okay, maybe it's just a me thing because Mao from DDT.
Mm-hmm.
So he does this spot where he distracts you, so you look somewhere else, and then he punches you, and that's the spot that Ruaka sort of co-opted. And I just think it looks bad. It just kind of gets me. It feels weird on her. You want to do that spot if you're like a crafty wrestler. It's not really a gimmick for a wrestler like her. I think she executes it well enough. I just think it doesn't fit her character. And I just thought it's crazy she's still 21. I think she's been wrestling since she's 12. And I don't know if she hasn't shown any progress in recent years, right? Or what do you think?
Nah, not really. Ruaka has always been kind of tough. I actually didn't realize she was only 21 too.
Crazy.
Either. I thought she was older, to be honest. I think she made some strides, like when was it? I think maybe Tag League last year. She had like a cool little run where she did really well. I think actually when they won the tag titles against
she started trying a bit.
Hanan and Saya Ida, she looked exceptionally good in that match. I thought like compared to what expectations I usually have for her matches, at least, I think she did really well there. So I think she can, if she really wants to, do some good shit. But usually she kind of just looks bored, and I get that that's supposed to be a heel shtick too. But yeah, she wrestles like she's bored too, and that makes her boring sometimes. So
yeah,
not great.
So they announced Ami Sourei and Lady C, the Reiwa Tokyo Towers, their team name, against BMI 2000 for the tag titles, Natsuko Tora and Ruaka. That will happen on the 11th of October, Korakuen Hall show, I believe.
Right. I have another note here about what's your opinion on Lady C?
Yeah, it's kind of similar to, well, it's not similar to Ruaka. It's similar to one of those. I just don't care about her in the same way to like Waka and Momokoga. I don't know if it's harsh putting her in that category, because she has had standout moments which Momo and Waka haven't. For example, in that Artist of Stardom title match earlier this year against Neo Genesis, she looked like a fucking beast. So I have seen her do really well. So I wouldn't put her in that category, but she's just above it. I just can't get invested in any of her matches. I had this discussion with John on Amakaze, right? I said something about Lady C, about how she doesn't do anything for me, and John was like, she did quite well in 5-star, and I asked him, okay, name me one Lady C 5-star match you remember, and then they couldn't do it, right? Because her matches just aren't memorable.
That's true. No, I'm
by the way, I love John. That wasn't a diss at John, just
for sure. Shout out to John and Amakaze. Yeah, I'm the same. I feel like similar to Ruaka. I feel like Lady C just is never improving much. Like she has, like you said, a couple of really good performances here and there, like Ruaka as well. But in the grand total, I'm just never really invested in her. There was some double flapjack at the end that just looked really botched by Lady C. That's I wrote it in my notes here.
I did note that down as well. Yeah, Natsuko almost landed on her head. Yeah,
that was rough. So yeah. Not the greatest. Anyway, she pinned Tora, right? In the end. Yeah, exactly. After this,
I trust you, Tim.
Pretty sure that's what happened. Anyway, after this, we had the first big for real highlight of the evening. It was the God's Eye team of Shuri and Tomoka Inaba, sorry. Eating the loss to Kaoru Ito and Sareee. The returning Shuri, returning to Stardom at least. She had a match in Oz Academy before. Did she have any other matches in the meantime? Not really sure.
She's been doing some theater stuff with Hikaru Shida.
Oh, right.
Because Shida has a theater troupe. And she did some performances, and Sareee actually referenced that in her post-match promo on this match, which we can get to after the match. But yeah, that's what she's been doing.
She already dissed Shuri for that back in like February when they built the very first match.
Okay, well then she did it again. Yeah.
That was really funny because because Shuri took some dates off in March, I think, to do the theater stuff. And Sareee was going at her like what? How dare she like take dates off for instead of wrestling and shit like that. And meanwhile, Sareee didn't wrestle a single time in the entirety of February just to prepare for the fight.
Sareee is so funny. How can you
She's
not?
Such a funny hypocrite, man.
Yeah, exactly. The background for this match is so Sareee trains at the Ito Dojo alongside Chi-Chi, Muka Kanai, and some other wrestlers that wrestle on Ito Dojo shows like Utashima. So that's why she brought Kaoru Ito along for this match.
Mm-hmm. Right.
What do you think of the match?
What were your thoughts?
Oh well, I'll go. I thought it was a bit sloppy actually, or at least it didn't have as many fireworks as I expected. This was obviously, it felt like a preview of a preview in a way. This was very lightly worked from Sareee and Syuri. There were some awesome moments like the finishing stretch, but overall I felt it was a tiny bit sloppy. Syuri was really fucking over, but Sareee was not booed as much at all, which felt a bit. I thought the Stardom Korakuen Hall crowd would definitely boo the shit out of Sareee, but it was a bit more muted here.
Yeah, I was wondering about that as well. Like she's been less and less booed in her most recent appearances. And yeah, I was surprised that Korakuen wouldn't go hard against her. Maybe all her crying. Like I thought she was crying about getting booed a bit, right? Like, but I always thought that was like wink wink to like make people more even boo more. Yeah. So I guess the Japanese people didn't understand that right and actually thought maybe she's upset about it, and we just
gimmicks also have shelf lives, right? Like sometimes they just die down for no particular reason. They just, you get numb to a certain gimmick and you just react to it less and less. That's why people change gimmicks and characters, right?
Maybe that's true, yeah. Anyway, yeah, I thought like the first lockup between Syuri and Sareee, like the first exchange was just, I loved it just as much as they always did. I get what you mean though. It wasn't like the most crazy going match in the world. It only went 8 minutes and 50 seconds too.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, a bit of the finish caused a bit of a stir I saw on social media.
Ooh, yeah.
When Tomoka Inaba landed pretty rough on Saree's Uranage.
The finish as a whole was pretty good. So Tomoka went for Inaba Otoshi, which is like a modified Michinoku driver because she's a JTO wrestler and was trained by Taka Michinoku. Sareee tried an Uranage, but she fought after fighting free from the Tomoka's finisher. Inaba turns it into a cradle, but then Sareee hits a running double foot stomp, and then there's a massive sit-out powerbomb from Kaoru Ito and into a diving double foot stomp from Sareee. Yeah. And then the most disgusting Uranage you will probably ever see. Tomoka got spiked right on the top of her head. It was fucking brutal.
It was insane, yeah. The powerbomb already was so sick.
The powerbomb was disgusting as well, yeah.
Yeah. But I think she's fine.
Hope so.
I think blaming Sareee is always a bit short-sighted. I think the wrestler who gets thrown has to tuck their neck and land correctly, essentially. So fans on Twitter getting mad at Sareee for that, I don't know.
Well, in the Uranage, is Sareee even doing much? Isn't it mostly on the person taking the move because they have to jump and do like a forward flip?
Essentially, almost? Yeah. I would say so.
Oh. Because it's not like she's fucking deadlifting the wrestler, right?
Yeah, Sareee would be pretty strong if she did that like 5 times in a row to I don't know, every one of her opponents.
So in the post-match promo, Sareee said she read in an article that Syuri said she was the only one that could take the IWGP title, and Sareee was like, "Why didn't you say it to my face?" And Syuri responded that I never said that, and I did have elbow surgery, so I could come back in top condition and challenge you for that title. And then Sareee referenced Syuri's performance in Hikaru Shida's theatre troupe called Korbata, and she then announced that she has an overseas opponent for the title first, so she can't accept Syuri's challenge yet, but she'll be waiting for her. So I have no idea who it's going to be or where it's going to happen.
I think this is just so funny because that's what Syuri did to her, right?
Yeah, I didn't even fucking realize.
Sareee was so mad about that.
Yes.
Because Syuri went to face Alex Windsor first. I'm pretty sure it is. I don't know if she actually goes overseas and has a match or if it was just a thing she said because she might not even fucking do it. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe she just goes to like to the Philippines or something.
That is so funny. I didn't even connect the dots. That's why I have a podcast with you, Tim.
I read it on a Discord yesterday too.
Just take credit. They won't know about it.
But no, but I think it fits perfectly. Like when I thought about that, I stopped even thinking about any possible opponents or whatever. That makes so much more sense to me that she's just referencing that bit that she.
It would also fit into her character. That like she's so petty, right?
Yeah, exactly.
She's like, "Fuck you! You did this to me before. How does it feel?" Like that is such a Sareee thing to do.
If she goes, I mean, I think you've read the same rumors that I read.
Mm-hmm. What about AEW Wrestle Dream?
Not necessarily Wrestle Dream. I've read that her like dream opponent overseas or whatever is apparently Taya Valkyrie. So that's not the greatest outlook to whenever she goes there.
God, imagine she gets announced for Wrestle Dream. Tony Khan's doing an announcement. We have world famous Sareee, and she will be facing Taya Valkyrie. And then I was like, what the fuck?
So I think the full story that I heard is there was a plan once to do a Sareeism show in the US on WrestleMania weekend next year. That fell through. And that was supposed to be the main event of that show, was her and Taya Valkyrie. I think that's the story.
Was Taya Valkyrie in NXT with her or something?
I'm pretty sure that's got to be where it comes from, right?
Yeah, because I don't think she's like sitting at home in the dojo watching Taya Valkyrie tape.
Nah.
So
maybe they just connected backstage and were like good friends in NXT.
Yeah,
that's my main explanation for that one.
What is Taya Valkyrie's best match?
You
know what? I just realized we're going to be here for like half an hour thinking about this. Maybe we should move on.
I do think. No, I have nothing. I think she used to be better in TNA back in the day, but I think that's only just always people saying that, and I don't think the Knockouts were ever really that great as people acted. But
I think she's very entertaining though. I do love her segments, and she pops up on
her faces.
Yeah, and she pops up on Queen Amanata's vlog as well. She seems like a very nice person. But that doesn't mean I want her against Sareee. But yeah.
All right. Shall we move on from
Sareee
and Shuri? Now, when do you think they're going to have the third match? Because I think it's going to happen, right?
I would guess Crimson Nightmare at this point.
Okay. I'm not sure. I could see that happening. I hope they delay it until Dream Kingdom, but
we'll see. I think Crimson Nightmare is at Ota Ward, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, they'll probably put it there, I imagine.
All right. Next up,
let's get down to business.
Yes, it was the Future of Stardom title match with a big upset. Hanako defeating Hina in 14 minutes and 11 seconds. What did you think?
Boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy. Where do I start? Do I start with the result or Hina's performance? Because I want to talk about both. Let's start with Hina's performance.
Me too. All right.
So, I'm voting Hina for most improved. Whatever award that is, I don't give a shit. But
that's so true.
She has completely it's not just about moves, by the way. So she is much better in ring than she was even months ago, but it's about her entire presentation. I cannot think of a more meteoric change in a performance presentation across the world than Hina has done within the past 5 months. It was February that she won that title. Okay, 7 months. So it was in February that she won the title in her hometown, and she's a completely different wrestler 7 months later. There's no more fitting person for that award. She laid in her forearms at the start of this match. Even shit like her drop kicks look brutal. And I don't even care if her and Rena are only 18. I know they're both going to be stars. Like 100% guaranteed, no backseas. You can quote me. In 5 to 10 years from now, like even casual fans only watching US TV, they're going to be hearing about how these twin sisters are lighting up Stardom and they should get Lou Fairs and all of these awards. You can just see it in her wrestling ability. And I know I'm jumping the gun, but I don't care. She is so fucking good. All of the small things she does, how she sells, her offense, her match layouts, the fact she's not been in this spot for quite long is the main thing that's convinced me. I think Hina absolutely carried this match, by the way. I did see some opinions that people thought Hanako's performance was quite good. I don't actually agree. I think Hanako barely sold a lot of Hina's offense, and most of this match was on Hina putting Hanako on her back. So if anyone asks me about Hina, this is the match I'm going to send them. I think this is Hina's best individual performance. She might have had better matches with other wrestlers, but this was the match that I was completely blown away by her performance. So,
Right. No, I totally agree. I don't know. I mean, I do agree with you that Hina was definitely the worker who, I think she led the match too, and she was the performer who made the match. Like they just really got me with this match. That's like that's it was one of those matches where I just started typing in all caps at one point, because like I didn't expect Hanako to win, honestly. I heard some people afterwards who expected it, but I wasn't on that side at all. And like midway through, like the more Hanako started dominating it, like they totally got me with every kick out. I was just suffering, living and dying with this match, and it was fucking crazy. It was just so well worked from Hina.
Yeah, can I ask a question?
Yes.
When you spoke about Hanako dominating, for that to work, Hina's selling has to be on point. So I know what you mean, but for me, so for example, there was a big boot that Hanako gave Hina, and Hina literally turned inside out. It was one of the best sells of a big boot that I've ever seen. If Hina doesn't sell like that, Hanako doesn't look as dominant. So that's kind of why I don't want to be harsh on Hanako, but that's kind of why I'm having the viewpoint that I think this match was like 90% Hina.
No, I agree with that. There was, I do think Hanako did sell the STFs quite well. Like she did really look like she was suffering for a while when she was in those like long submission holds, and I do think she did well selling those. I popped big for like Hina getting her. First, she did like a normal vertical suplex on her, and then she actually got her up for the jackhammer.
Yeah.
That popped me very big. Then, and that's damn impressive too. Like from Hina, I didn't know she was that strong. Like that is more dependent on like your core strength and your body strength than something like a Uranage, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, there was one big powerbomb kick out by the end that
was amazing.
Exploded my brain. Yeah.
So I think Hina tried the ghetto clutch attempt, right? That she's won some matches with, but then she got caught with a lariat from Hanako, and then again a really nasty last ride. So that's the second one we've seen on this show from Hanako.
Yeah.
And the crowd. So after she kicked out from the last ride, the crowd completely got on Hina's side. Hina has a really good connection to the crowd. It's like a natural one. It's not like forced. It's not from gimmick. People just want to root from her from the way she sells. That's what I mean by she's a really good seller. As soon as she kicked out of that pin, it's Hina. It was awesome.
Yeah. What do you like the result?
No, I hate the result. But I thought about it a bit more, because obviously my gut instinct is to not like it and then complain about it, like the nerd I am. But I think if it elevates Hina, it's completely fine. But I will not live it down if she moves down the card again. She has to get pushed out of this reign exactly like Rina did.
I can't imagine that's even possible. I don't think you can.
I don't think it will happen. Yeah.
It's.
I think they will push her, so that's why I'm kind of just waiting and sitting tight. But boy, oh boy, I'm gonna be a not happy boy if they don't push her.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, where do you push her, right?
So
do you push her to the white belt soonish?
Yeah, that's probably a bit much, isn't it?
But what's in between there?
That is a bit of a problem, though. Like, I guess we haven't. Maybe it doesn't get spoken about. But what is the Stardom mid card?
Yeah, it's kind of like
the tag.
It's kind of weird right now, right?
Or the trios belts, maybe. So, like, if God's Eye challenged for the trios, is that elevating Hina?
That might be where they're going, actually. Rina versus Hina. is in there too.
Oh, that would be so good. Yeah, I think that is the mid card. The mid card of Stardom is the tags and the trios. So
yeah, for sure.
It's probably the single. There isn't a singles mid card because the white belt is held by Starlight Kid, who's one of the top stars in the company. The IWGP is meant for wrestlers. So Aramufa and Omikaze made this point. It was a really good point. The IWGP belt is for wrestlers that are too big for the red belt, but they want to keep them away from the red belt, like Sareee, Shirai, all of these wrestlers. And then obviously the red belt is the top of the promotion. So there isn't really a singles belt for someone to be in the mid card except the Future. So I think she probably just goes on to tags and trios.
Yes,
which I think is okay.
The only kind of a singles mid card there is when there's like a real feud between two people. Building that has no belt involved. Like, for example, last year it was like Shuri and Konami were kind of building that. It didn't really go anywhere because of the accident at Dream Queendom.
It's rare though, right? It's rare that they have feuds like that.
The other option is when like an outsider comes in. Like the big example is Hashimoto regularly comes in for big shows and has like a big match that they build up with that she builds up with someone. That's also what I would call like a mid card singles match then.
Yeah. Interesting though.
Yeah, for sure. All right. We also kind of had it like for example, Suzu and Becerra had like a mid card feud for no title.
They did, yeah.
At All-Star Grand Queendom. That's kind of what it is. Where was I? Yeah. That's my exact thoughts as well. Like at first, I was really pissed off. I really hated the result, but I mean, I think Hina is ready to move on from this level on the card, so that's good. I guess Aya Sakura came out after. They cut a couple of promos. They seemed all very emotional, I guess.
So Sakura said, just finding my notes. So Sakura basically said that among their class, because they're the same class, I think Hanako.
Sakura was funny as fuck. Yeah, tell him.
Yeah. So she said that she's been in outside promotions the most out of all of them. So she's even held the Sendai Girls Junior World Belt. So she knows what other rings are like, and she knows that Stardom is the best. So that's why she now wants results in Stardom rather than elsewhere. So she said she was going to take the belt from Hanako.
Oh, okay, she didn't say it then. I think she said it on Twitter then, maybe?
Yeah, I was about to say, what's Tim talking about? What is she funny about?
She was like, your like grand idol Mina Shirakawa has the record for the shortest future title reign with like 14 days.
Oh shit!
I'm gonna make sure that you're gonna break that record and make it an 8-day title reign. Then she's gonna face her like in 8 days, I guess.
Yeah, 5th of October China. 5th of October in Gwangju.
Gwangju, right. All right, you got anything more on the future title match?
No, I just realized, are we an hour in?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let's move on to the main event, because this main event's going to take a while.
If you say so. What was it again? Azumi? Yeah.
Azumi, yeah. Yeah, that's right, yeah. AZM.
AZM.
Yeah.
Lost to Saya Kamitani. In 23 minutes and 10 seconds. In a spectacular match. Do you want to go first then, if you got so much to say?
Do you want to go back to discussion about the draw and the record number that they drew?
Yeah, it depends how you planned it, actually. Like, you want to talk about both wrestlers individually, right? And their performances in a way for both of them, right?
Yes. So I think my general thoughts about the match are that it had a big match feel, and I think that is strange when you consider that the result was not in question at all. We all knew Saya Kamitani was going to win, so the fact it could still generate that feeling of, a bit of like nerves or like apprehension about what sort of match they're going to put on, I think is really good. And that's because they faced each other earlier in the 5-star, so we had already seen them have a really good match. So this match felt like it had like match of the year contender potential going in. And largely, I think it somewhat lived up to that potential. I think this is my favorite non-Tam Nakano Saya match so far since her heel turn. And I think it's a match that works perfectly in a sold-out Korakuen Hall rather than, say, Ota War Gym. I have to compare it, though, against her match with Suzu, which I also loved. but Suzu is a bigger favorite of mine than Azumi, so I think maybe I'd probably take the Suzu one. It's quite close, but either this or the Suzu match is my favorite non-Tam match of Saya's.
That's actually a good question. I really loved that Suzu match too.
It's so good.
I think I would say the Azumi match was better too. Yeah. I don't really have a favorite, I don't think, between Azumi and Suzu. I've always had a really big soft spot for Suzu as well. So that's not really, for me, it's not really any kind of like bias for her. But I just think like the stuff they did in the Azumi match was just so insane. And it was so well wrestled. You know, the Suzu match had some smaller problems, I'd say. Like some of the stuff didn't land well at the end, which kind of, I always hated when people put that really against it, because it made it just look really fucking rough and rugged in a way, which I always really like in matches. Like the Poison Ranas at the end, towards the end of the Suzu match, for example. I don't know if you remember. But in a way, it's true that when like a match is so clean and so perfect, like the Azumi one, it's maybe a notch above it.
I actually felt, so I have a nitpick with Saya matches. It is a nitpick because they are really good, but I tend not to remember them a few months later. And I think that's really important for me. So it doesn't mean I don't enjoy or I don't love the matches. It just means that they're never going to crack like my top 20, top 30 lists, because they're matches I don't remember. So, for example, matches I remember that are at the top of my match of the year list is Tam Saya, obviously, Miyu Watanabe, Shoko Nakajima, Despe and Jun Kasai, Gabe and Kenny at the Dome, and Sareee Syuri too. Like, I'm never going to forget those matches. With Saya matches, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the match layout or some of the moves, but nothing sticks out to me months later. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean in general. I don't have the same thing with Saya matches per se, but I get what you mean. Like, for other wrestlers, I have that probably.
What was your most standout moment of this match? Like, off the top of your head?
Off the top of my head, it was probably the top rope destroyer.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, all the destroyers.
All of the destroyers were insane.
It was just so many destroyers. I think the sickest looking one was the top rope destroyer. Yeah. So for like memorable matches from Saya Kamitani, I mean, like the Tam Nakano matches are like etched into my brain, of course.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That goes without saying. Yeah.
For me, the case, and I really do like. I really did like her Sayaka Kurara match as well. Which I thought that was, I have like very vivid images of that match in my head too.
I think it's just a me thing then.
Of like, sorry?
It must be a me thing then. It's not like a general criticism.
It's probably also like my emotional investment in those matches exactly. Very high, right? Yeah. If I think about like, let's say their 5-star match, Azumi vs Saya 5-star match.
I don't remember
that,
it. For
example, is a match where I don't remember much of.
Yeah,
exactly. So I get what you mean from that match, for example. But like, I just happen to be emotionally invested a lot in almost every Saya match this year. Every bigger one, let's say, except for maybe those in the 5-star. So I really do remember them. I do remember the Natsupoi match very vividly. I do remember the Suzu match very vividly. So yeah, I can't say it's overall the same thing.
So I think it's probably just that Saya's not a favorite of mine. It's not that I don't like her. It's just
I think
if I was ranking my top favorite wrestlers, I think she doesn't maybe crack the top 10. But I can still acknowledge, how good she is.
But yeah, that's probably the case for you. But I would never say that Saya's one of my favorite wrestlers either. So yeah. She just faced all my favorite wrestlers. That's the problem.
Yeah. But anyway, so some things from this match that I thought were worth talking about. So I kind of liked Azumi she channeled a bit of her stablemate's energy, Starlight Kid, but instead of like leg work, she did arm work. So it obviously wasn't to the same level or quality of Starlight Kid's, but it was a nice touch. For example, she did like a Penta style arm breaker at one point, which I thought looked really cool.
Oh yeah.
One of the problems is I never really bought Saya tapping at any point, so I wasn't sure where that arm work was leading, but I did like the nod to Starlight Kid at least. I still have a problem with Saya's forearm exchanges. Is this also just a me thing? I think they just don't look good, right?
That's by far at this point her biggest weakness to me.
Okay, cool, yeah. Yep, so I just noted that down because they had a forearm battle and I was like, ugh.
Oh yeah, that's always rough, and she always does it every match, man. She just needs to stop doing it, I guess, until she really like got into the dojo for 4 months straight and just laid people out with forearms or something.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I do think Azumi does have some like arm submission work, like.
Well, she does the Mystica as well, right? So
right, exactly.
And then she did that fucking crazy counter. So Saya was doing like a rolling leg lariat, and then Azumi caught Saya's.
So sick.
She caught Saya's arm during the leg lariat, and I was like, "Did they just botch?" And then I realized, I've just never seen that before.
She flew like not perpendicularly, but like parallel to her through the air, like diagonally, I guess, through the ring. Backwards while grabbing her arm. It looked so fucking sick. That spot was insane.
So there was some good arm work in this match. I'm not dismissing it. It just wasn't Starlight Kid level.
She also like ever since, I don't know if she did it the first time in a Brazilian match or not, but she does that seatbelt pin now, Azumi. So that's also, I mean, that arm pain doesn't really play into it, but you do a lot with the arms. I guess when the arms are weakened, you can maybe put on the seatbelt easier. Not sure.
Well, the Izumi Sushi uses the arm as a hook, right?
Yeah, basically. I mean, she kind of folds them.
Yeah.
Yeah, to get them down into position, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Can we talk about the Izumi Sushi? Is that the best finisher like in the world right now? That Izumi Sushi. So it's just a.
You mean in combination with the La Mystica? Or?
Well, by itself, I just call it as a finisher because it gets a lot of near falls like a finisher would. Like, she has won matches with that move, just the Izumi Sushi by itself. So, after the Canadian Destroyer, she did hit as an Izumi Sushi, and I thought it was over. Like, it was the closest. So, Saya's kickouts in this match in general were amazing. That's one of the things Saya is very good at. It's knowing when to kick out at 2.999. Mm-hmm. So, I thought that was a free count the first time. And then later, she does a double Azumi Sushi. So she rolls through once and then she does another one. And that was also a 2.999 kick out. And I thought it was over again. So the fact that finisher can get me so many times in the same match, I think it's a really good move, I guess. It's really effective.
In that sense, it's true, yeah. It's not like the spectacular looking thing. It's just a variation of a roll-up, I guess.
Yeah, which is why it's so cool.
maybe that makes it extra cool, yeah. I mean, Azumi does a fucking double underhook destroyer, which is like the sickest looking move you can possibly do, but...
and I prefer the roll-up.
You prefer the roll-up, yeah. I was a bit... Did you think they had too many kickouts? Of crazy stuff.
I thought...
Like Saya kicked out of a double underhook destroyer, she kicked out of a top rope destroyer, or like at least an avalanche destroyer. She kicked out of like 2 more destroyers, and they kicked out of a lot. But yeah, what's your
I think this is part of the problem I went back to earlier about it not being memorable. I do think you have an issue when you kick out a bit too much, that some spots start to get lost in the noise. I'm not being one of those Jim Cornettes, too many kickouts, take me back to the old days. I'm just saying, if you do put a lot in the match, naturally you are going to forget parts of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I do think that was a bit too many.
I do think what Saya did really well, despite the many kickouts, is she just looked physically destroyed more and more. Like at the end, like every kickout like took so much out of her. Like you could really see it in her. Like I thought her selling was quite good towards the end of the match. But that was probably just also like real physical pain from what she went through. So.
Also, you probably expect them to do a high-speed sort of match, but they were like fucking 4 shoot headbutts. I was like, what are these two doing? I thought they were gonna... So, I think this was similar to their 5-star match, but with like all of the main event stuff added on top. And that's what really like jumped it up a few notches. So yeah.
And there was also the spot where they were just like suplexing each other over and over. Like,
I don't even know how to call the Saya. She did like a schoolboy suplex or something. It was...
Oh yeah, that looks so good.
Yeah,
that's like when she goes like really fluent from. I don't really even know how she gets them up there from that position, but
no, it was like you go for a schoolboy, but then I don't even know how to describe it. You're like going for a roll up and then turns it into a suplex. It's almost like it ends up as a backdrop almost. That was towards the end, and then Azumi went for La Mystica, but Saya caught her for another Star Crusher, but there was no spin on this one. And you know what the rule is, Tim, right? It's no spin, no win with Saya Kamitani's Star Crusher. She has to do a spinning Star Crusher to win, and she did one right after and retained the title and won the New Japan Strong Women's Championship. So really excellent match. I have it maybe like Azumi's fourth or fifth best match this year, which we can talk about after.
Okay, Azumi's matches.
Do you want to
I'd
do
have
it now?
to think about that.
I've prepared a spreadsheet for you, Tim.
I haven't clicked it yet. I have clicked on these
I'll introduce it. So I wanted to talk a bit about Azumi's most outstanding case. So I decided to share some of my ratings with Tim just so we could visualize Azumi's 2025. So let's ignore the ratings. Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, a 3.5 for me might be a 4 for someone else or a 3 for someone else. That doesn't matter. What's more interesting is like the comparative nature of the ratings. So in general, I think like Azumi has had around 24, 25 matches that I would say are awesome, that I would recommend to someone, being like, hey, watch this match, and if you don't come out thinking Azumi's not awesome, then you're no fun. Like, so that's a high amount of matches. And then there's maybe like 11 or 12 that I would recommend people to go out of their way to watch in 2025. And then I think there's maybe 4 that are like low-level match of the year contenders. So that's against Bazilla, against Momo at the 5-star, against Rina the same day on the 5-star. What an insane show for Azumi. And then the artist title match from February that Dave gave 5 stars to. So those are the 4 I would have as low-level match of the year contenders. But 3 of those are singles matches, right? So we can't say, okay, it was just a multi-man. So when I compare Azumi's catalogue to everyone else's, so if you click the second tab, so for everyone else, I only have 3 wrestlers above Azumi, and one of them is just, you know, just because they had a really good match with Tom Nakano, that's Saya Kamitani. But basically what I do is some nerd stuff where I like to assign some points for ratings I give, just so I can numerically visualize how much I like a particular wrestler. Obviously, when I'm actually deciding on this, I use, you know, my subjectivity, like how much do I like one or the other. But this is like a nice objective view about how many ratings I gave to someone. So Sareee is like far ahead in the lead, which probably just means I like her like more than a lot of other people may rate her the same way. And then I've got Takeshita. So the thing to mention is that I think there are like 3 things that go into most outstanding. Tell me if you disagree, Tim. But I think one thing is volume. So how many good matches are you having? The second thing is what I call the hit rate. So out of how many matches you do have, how many of those are good? So like a proportion. And then the third thing is like your actual quality of match. So that's why, you know, I sort of like grade them on a curve. So Takeshita might not have like the highest quality, like he doesn't have as high peaks, but he has the volume and the hit rate. So like for me, like over 50% of his matches, I would recommend to people. They're that good, and there's just so many matches. So you can see I have like 60 Takeshita matches in 2025, but Azumi has a lower hit rate. So maybe fewer proportion of matches that I would recommend to people, but the quality is really high. As we mentioned, the 4 singles matches that I would have as like low-level match of the year contender. And so Azumi's right up there for me, probably easily cracking my top 3 when I compare it to other wrestlers.
Yeah, that's fair. Absolutely. Yeah, the thing is, for me this year, I used to do similar spreadsheets. I just kind of stopped doing that this year for some reason. It's probably because like I don't know, wrestling just kind of died for me at one point, and I had to rebuild my
when Tam died,
my joy for it. And I just decided to nothing's gonna top this anyway, what I just saw. So I'm just gonna leave the spreadsheets alone. But I can tell you, I had a similar spreadsheet for last year, and it looked. I mean, how do I say this? The top of it looked very similar, but I didn't have Azumi up there last year for some reason.
I probably didn't either. I'm specifically talking about in 2025. Yeah. I think she has stepped it up compared to 2024. I think she's having a breakout year, and it feels weird to say because she's been doing it for so long. But I think this is the year she's putting on consistently the highest amount of good matches. Like her output is insane in 2025, uniquely to her other career years, basically.
Mm-hmm. I just had the exact same takeaways on my spreadsheet last year with when it comes to Sareee. That's just fascinating to me right now.
This is why I keep talking about Sareee Luthez, and I guess people are like they laugh at me, but like Saree's match quality is insane. If you like watch all of her matches on the indies and stuff like that,
it was so far above anyone else for me last year, and probably this year as well if I kept the scores. Like last year, her average match rating was over 4.5 for me. That's insane. Yeah. But okay, let's say of the matches I rated over 4, which are the only ones in my spreadsheet. I used to only write 4+ matches in my spreadsheet, and of all matches over 4, it was over 4.5 on average, 4.6 almost, 4.594 to be exact.
Yeah,
and that was so far above anyone else that was kind of ridiculous. So.
Yeah,
anyway,
that's what my 2025 looks like. I got Sareee above anyone else, and then Takashita, Azumi, Starlight Kid. By the way, it's insane. Tam Nakano is like near my top 5, despite she had not wrestling for 3 months. She went fucking crazy in those first few months. It's probably the best quarter of wrestling. Like you'll probably see. Sareee Anu is another contender. Kenny Omega. So Kenny Omega doesn't have the volume, but he has the quality and the proportion for me. So when he does have a match, it tends to be really good. And Syuri is obviously got the quality. I think Syuri has the highest quality case probably out of anyone. So she has like so many match of the year contender matches, but she doesn't have that many of a volume, and also her proportion is quite low because she's in a lot of tag matches and lower down the card in a lot of the house shows and stuff like that. But
and she had a big ass elbow injury.
Exactly. Yeah, I just wanted to basically make the point. Yeah, Azumi is really fucking good in 2025, guys, and this match I think showed it as well.
Yeah, don't forget her on your most outstanding list or whatever. Wherever you're voting for anything, I think it's important to remember the greatness of Azumi this year. It's very true.
Yeah, okay. So shilling aside, so in the post-match, so Azumi was crying, which I thought was really cute. She said she wanted to surpass Saya Kamitani, but she lost. And then she accepted that Saya is the one that's going to lead Stardom, but Azumi wants to be the one to beat her. And she said the fans can counter that. So she's sort of positioning herself to be in that upper level, which I think is really smart. I love that they've elevated Starlight Kid, and I've loved that they're doing that with Azumi now, that you can put her in a red belt match just fine and you won't blink an eye. So, and Azumi's promo sort of reflected that, I feel like. And then they shared a fist bump, which I thought that was kind of adorable. And then after that, Momo Watanabe came out and challenged. So there was no angle. There was nothing like that. I read the translation, and she basically just asks her for a match, and Saya Kamitani's like, sure, let's do it. And then they say Crimson Nightmare. So I'm expecting an angle, to be honest. And I think if an angle doesn't happen, if an angle doesn't happen, I think I'll be disappointed.
I'm kind of the same, yeah. They do have the chance to do something really crazy here, like heat-wise. Either if hate turns on Saya or if hate turns on Momo, whatever it would be, I think they could do a really special build here for this match.
Exactly, yeah.
And if they don't, I do believe they would make it work anyway, and I'd be happy in the end anyway with the match or whatever. But I think there's a chance there to do something really special and big for the promotion in itself, and maybe to like even have like this whole big unit split up or whatever. I don't know. And it's also the chance to give like Saya or Momo their own unit. So Whatever happens.
Completely agree. This is the chance they have to do that, and it keeps things fresh. You do need to change things every now and again. It'll be almost a year. Well, it's been over a year since the Saya heel turn and the hate creation. So I just feel like a big angle should happen for Dream Queendom. That's not just because I'm going to be there. I think it's the right time to pull the trigger on something like that.
So would you do it after the Crimson Mask? What's it called?
Crimson Nightmare. Yeah. Crimson
Nightmare.
Well, yeah, maybe they will have a Crimson Mask, but yeah, I would probably do it. I don't know. I wouldn't have booked this match if I was doing an angle, I guess. So that's why I think maybe an angle isn't happening.
That's the thing, right? It doesn't seem like a big enough show to blow this huge ass angle on. So maybe I don't know.
Let's see. They have a lot of credibility for me, right? That whoever's booking Stardom, Okada or Tam Nakano, they have a lot of credibility because they've done so well for over a year. So I'm just going to wait and see what happens. I'm just saying, if nothing does happen, I will be disappointed.
I can definitely see that, like how cordial they were. I could see that being one playing the other in a way.
Yep, agree.
I just don't definitively know who plays who, but something about that interaction felt not quite green to me.
Momo in particular was very gracious to Saya, and she also referred to her as Saya Sama, right? Which is what Saya likes to be called. So I thought that was interesting.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Maybe there's something brewing. Maybe we're just making ourselves false hope, but yeah.
Should we talk about Saya's popularity, her TV show appearance?
Let's do it.
So, Saya's popularity has been a topic of discussion in different places, most recently because she was on some TV shows. So, the first TV show is called Chidori no Oni Renchan, and it's a variety TV show on Fuji TV that basically has like consecutive challenges for celebrities. So this is where Saya Kamitani, she competed in 300-meter races back-to-back with 5 minutes apart, and the last person in each race gets eliminated. The first time she competed in this was in February, after her Suzuki match and before her Tam Nakano retirement match. So before, when she was on this program, it kind of exploded her initial popularity. But before that even happened, Saya and Suzu already set the Korakuen Hall record. That was before she ever made the appearance on the show. Then she made the appearance on the show. She came 4th in the finals. And she's recently reappeared on that show in September, but she was knocked out of the semi-finals. The ratings for the show are normally around the 5 to 6%. So this was the show that she's been on that has had the biggest outreach. The second show that she's been on regularly is called Love It. It was kind of funny when I first translated it. Because, the Japanese alphabet doesn't have L, it would translate as rabbit. And I was like, why is there a show called Rabbit? And then after some time I realized, it's called Love It. Okay. So it's a daily morning weekday show on TBS in Japan. So it's similar to Good Morning America. She started as a regular on the Friday slot from July 4th, and she ended it last week on 26th of September. The ratings are normally 1 to 2%, so it's a smaller outreach, but it's far more consistent, and it is on terrestrial TV. So how she ended her appearances, the weekly appearances on that show, is they had a match inside the studio with Hanan, and that was the first women's match to be broadcast on terrestrial TV in 23 years. So that's why she sort of made the news with those appearances recently.
Yeah, it's a big milestone, I'd say.
So, I have a confession, Tim.
Mm-hmm.
So, I wasn't really... I wasn't really convinced on Saya's MVP case after the 5-star.
Yes.
So, I've seen in 2025 some promotions that get hot based off of an act. So, and then that act stops being the unique draw. So they sort of like transfer their drawing power to the promotion. So the biggest example is probably Ozawa, who got really hot at the start of 2025. And then he lost the championship to Kenta in July. Mm-hmm. But all the subsequent shows, including the N1 shows, were like record numbers, despite Ozawa getting injured early in the N1 and not even being on those shows. So it's sort of like transferring your drawing power to the promotion, and then the promotion gets hot. So I thought we were in that zone with Saya because of the 5-star. The Korakuen Hall show on the 27th of September, where they set a new record with only the Azumi, Saya, and Hina and Hanako matches announced, that kind of made me change my mind a bit, because there are no other confounding factors to that draw whatsoever. That's drawn based on those matches. So it's not just the promotion being hot, because they've done like 1,100 at Korakuen Hall during their period of being hot. So this made me sort of reevaluate her case and be like, okay, maybe there is something here, and it's not just the promotion being hot. So I like to cross the T's and dot the I's, so I made sure and I went and did some very rudimentary analysis of the attendance numbers of Stardom. It was kind of funny. I messaged Tim at 8 p.m. on a Saturday to go through my analysis, and in the most Tim way possible, he was like, now's not such a good time for me, which, my Tim translations are getting better. That just means, Eric, it's 8 p.m. on a Saturday. No, I don't want to see your statistical analysis of Saya's impact. So, I got the message, but regardless of the numbers, I do want to just point out there is something to be said about Saya being a soft draw. And by that, I mean, she gets people into the funnel, right? So she does these TV shows, she's on social media a lot, and then these fans go to the show and they don't really care where Saya is on the card. They're just like, right, well, I'm going to Stardom, and then they get new favorites and then they sort of stick. So it's impossible or very difficult to isolate that effect. It's like, how do you say numerically how many fans she's drawing into the funnel? That's really difficult to do. The only thing you can do with that is you can read social media, you can read Shupro magazines, traditional media, and see what they're saying. And almost every other issue, they're talking about Saya being a star. So just based on vibes, you can sort of see Saya is definitely popular with fans in Japan. You can't answer it with numbers though. So that's just, I guess, the disclaimer I wanted to write, that you can't really go into that. So, does that make sense, Tim? And then I'll go into a few conclusions.
Right. No, that's exactly one big thing that I agree on, and that's I think that's the case everywhere. Like you said, it's also like the other big candidate all over the world right now is Mystico, obviously, right?
Yeah.
And it's sort of the same thing with him, right? Because like then there's statistics out there that like they draw actually better when Mascara Dorada is in the main events, other than Mystico. But I still wouldn't say Mascara Dorada should be the MVP candidate over Mystico. Yeah. I think the fans are there because of Mystico. Where on the card he is or whatever he does doesn't matter. And then when they first showed up there, they maybe saw Mascara Dorada and said, holy shit, that guy is even crazier. That's my new favorite now.
And you can't quantify that, right?
Exactly. And I think that's exactly what happened with Saya too. And I think before that, that's what happened with Tam maybe. I think initially Tam got the most people in there. And maybe they saw Saya and she transferred that kind of popularity onto Saya by getting beaten by Saya over and over, I guess. And then Saya and together they kind of just lifted this promotion to another level. Like they just what's the stupid saying called that everybody says? Like a rising tide lifts all boats or whatever.
Hell yeah, you got it.
Yeah. So I think that's exactly what happens. And I would never say just because like Saya was maybe on this one Korakuen in the fourth match from the top and that did really well, but she was on another show in the main event and that didn't go so well, so these like singular data points, I would really always shy away from using those to make any sort of conclusions to her overall power to, like, as you said, to funnel people into the promotion. So
exactly.
Yeah.
So that is my number one conclusion.
Sorry if I took away your...
No. That's my number one conclusion. So whatever I'm going to speak about doesn't account for that. And I do buy into the argument that she's sort of like the connecting tissue between Tam Nakano's retirement event and all the new fans that started watching. She's like the thing that's still... So if you tuned into that event, which, they drew 7,503, which I like to mention again to that show, All-Star Grand Queendom, 27th of April. So right. She's still the one that's, left over from that event when Tam retired. So all the new fans that watched, they still see her. So I buy into the theory that she is a soft draw that you can't quantify. So I guess the first conclusion I just want to say is you can't make a numerical argument one way or the other for Saya or Mystico. There's always going to be some sort of vibes-based argument to it, and you can't get away with that because it's impossible to quantify it. So I want to lead with that. All right. So I basically took all of the attendances for every single event in 2025. And the first thing to note is by far the best attendances in 2025 were during the 5-star. It set records in almost every venue that it went to. And this is why I went off the Saya MVP case, because Saya played a very reduced role in that tournament. The draw of all of those records was the tournament and the promotion rather than Saya. So I tried to dismiss the COVID numbers as much as possible because it's hard to know the different rules in place. But they broke records in KBS Hall in Kyoto, Okayama, Hamamatsu, where I think they booked an even bigger room. They broke the record in Kobe Art Center, Ota City Gym, and they had the 5th ever best Korakuen Hall on 20th of August for the 5-star show. And the ones where they didn't break the record, they were really fucking close. So in Iwate, they had like 96% of the record. In Sendai, they had like 95% of the record, so they were very close to the record. They only didn't do well in one date in the 5-star. That was in Fukushima, where they did the worst ever attendance at the venue for some reason. I have no idea why. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, is Saya really a draw? But then I remembered about the soft draw. But I guess it's kind of interesting to note how huge that 5-star was, that it broke every single record almost available. So that was something interesting I noticed. That makes sense, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Something else I noticed is when they run a new building in 2025, Saya Kamitani is in the main event. It's like 6 out of the 8 times. So they have a preference for putting Saya in the spot for drawing in newer audiences. They go to a new place, they're like, Saya, go in the main event. So they do, just from a booking point of view, they have a preference of doing that. So in the data, it doesn't seem to matter whether Saya is in the main event or not for the small shows, like in terms of attendances. So like her card position is irrelevant to the attendance for house shows, which I think is obvious.
Yes.
Okay, and then the next thing, I looked at Korakuen Halls, which I thought was very interesting. The reason why Korakuen Halls are interesting is because there's so much historical data. And the most interesting conclusion, I think, is we can say, with statistical significance, so without a shadow of a doubt, Stardom are having their best year ever at Korakuen Hall in history.
Oh, yeah.
Which maybe people knew that, but if you look at the actual data, that even the numbers back it up. So no one can ever say, if you hear someone say, oh, it's just a few Stardom records, overall they did better at this year, whatever year, they're wrong. Stardom is having their best ever year at Korakuen Hall. The numbers back it up. That was the thing I looked at when I did the statistical analysis. I basically compared like for like Korakuens. So I looked at, for example, every July Korakuen in history, and I compared it to the 2025 July Korakuens. I also accounted for weekdays and weekends, and that came up with the same conclusion. So that was interesting, I guess.
Yeah, and that's also always something like that gets easily forgotten, I guess, when you compare like these singular data points.
Yeah.
Just the difference between like a weekday Korakuen and the weekend Korakuen is massive. But like Stardom is drawing during the week just as well now. Maybe not just as well, but like always over 1,000 at least. And
people will forget that this first Tam Saya match, the loser leaves Stardom in Korakuen Hall, was on a weekday.
That was like a random Wednesday, right?
Yeah, and they did 1,620 or whatever, and that was that set a new record for them on a weekday.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy.
So absolutely, there is a difference. And the last thing I looked at, and this is the point where I get to the I don't fucking know territory, is does it matter whether Saya is in a main event of Korakuen Hall or not? Does she actually improve the attendances? The answer was inconclusive. That basically means we don't have enough data. There's only been 14 events in 2025. She's main evented, I think it was 6 of them. Hang on, oh yeah, so she wasn't in the main event of 6 and she was in the main event of 8. But it's not statistically significant. That just means there's too much variance. We cannot determine numerically whether her being in the main event actually matters or not. And we won't know that until she does way more events in the main event for like another few years. So whoever's saying, Saya's drawing because she's in the main event, or she's not drawing because she's lower down the card, the numbers don't back it up yet.
Right.
Does that make sense?
But like I said, that's a particular data point that doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah, because of the soft draw.
She's on the card, and her fans are gonna go there.
Yeah, the soft draw is the one that kind of fucks everything up. It's like, right. Well, we can't quantify how many fans she's bringing into the building in the first place. So, yeah. Anyway, I thought that was interesting.
Another fun thing to look at too is like this has been like a really huge week for Japan. Wrestling in Japan, because like holidays and stuff. Lots of big shows. There was a big New Japan show. What was its name again?
Kobe, Destruction in Kobe.
Destruction Kobe. I forgot which Destruction it was. I only knew Destruction. Anyway, there was a big Destruction in Kobe New Japan show. There was a big title change in All Japan. There was the N1 finals, I guess, count to this week as well. There were lots of big shows all over Japan and Japanese wrestling. Eric, can you guess who was on the cover of Shoe Pro this week?
Was it Saya-sama?
It was, absolutely. 100 points.
Yeah, and that's absolutely something people need to bear in mind if they're like doubting Saya's case. Like, we can say, oh, red belt champions always get popularity, like publicity, but it's normally not on this level. And you can read these publications and see what they're saying. And the writers in those publications are saying, you know, Saya's one of the most popular champions. Stardom is, like, they're saying that in Japan, the Japanese people. Mm-hmm. So you do have to take their word for it, as they're the ones living in the country and, you know, consuming that media. So, So I guess I just wanted to wrap that all up by saying I think Saya and Mystica have like very similar cases in terms of their soft draws that you can't really quantify, and you just have to go with vibes, and I think you can't go wrong with either.
That's very true. And the next big mainstream star is up and coming too for Stardom.
Are you going to say Rianne?
Nah, she's up after that. The next one is going to be Natsuko, I think.
Oh, okay.
Now she also had like a really funny like TV appearance the other day where she went like semi-viral on Japanese Twitter and then was played in the news and everything.
Yeah, I heard about that. So just what I would be remiss to not mention this as well. They drew 1,000. Stardom drew 1,200 to a show in Tsugaru, which is in the north of Japan, and they've never run that town before. No promotions have ever run that town, and they drew 1,238, which is fucking insane. And
it's crazy, yeah.
I heard people say it's Rianne's hometown, but it's not. It's the other side of her hometown. Unless people know something I don't, then let me know. But what I saw was that city is having 20th anniversary celebrations because they were founded in like 2005 they did like a merger of a lot of different cities. And so this was co-promoted a lot by the actual city. But the fact that they can draw that many to a first-time town is honestly kind of crazy. So don't let anyone tell you guys that Stardom isn't one of the hottest promotions in the world, if not the hottest. Maybe with CMML.
Yes, and Rianne is the biggest draw.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, even though it wasn't her hometown.
Anyway, do you have anything else on
No,
Saya?
just I guess wanted to make it clear that I'm not saying Saya wasn't a draw. It's just we can't say numerically whether she is, but from a soft draw point of view, I think it's kind of obvious she is. That's what I want to finish on.
Cool. Should we just move on then?
I think so. We've done a lot of Stardom.
Topics. We did a lot of Stardom, yeah. We got 15 minutes for the rest. You ready?
Don't think that's happening.
All right. Up next, we had a big happening in Shin-Kiba this week on September 27th. It was basically the, what would I say,
The
fourth
biggest,
most important retirement this year, I
thought you were
guess.
going to say biggest, even over Tam.
Not quite over Tam. I was thinking about this, like, I can't really put it over Tam. I can't really put it over Meiko Satomura, right?
Wait, you put it over Nanai?
I can't put it over another big legend that retired this year, which is Christopher Daniels.
Okay.
So, unfortunately, she slots fourth in my list.
Above Nanai. Yeah.
Nah. Yeah. I still never watched Nanai, to be honest. Anyway.
Professional.
It was Haruna Neko's graduation from TJPW. She unfortunately had a really rough time with knee injuries and had to stop wrestling. She was only like a really like undercard comedy act in Tokyo Toshi Pro, if you've never heard of her. I always had kind of a, like, in my tier of the shittiest wrestlers, like, what do you call it? Like, maybe a guilty pleasure wrestler? Like,
did you just say shitty wrestler?
You know, like the wrestlers.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Dig yourself out.
Do you not have like those typical wrestlers that are just like not good, but you still enjoy watching them for some reason?
I got MJF for that one.
Okay, that's crazy. Yeah, but it was kind of a sweet ceremony by the end. She won the DDT Heavy Metal Iron. What's it called?
The Iron Man Heavy Metal title? Championship.
I wrote in my notes, Haruna wins the DDT heavyweight title. That's not quite what happened.
No, she did not win the heavyweight.
Yeah, and then she gave it right back after winning it and retired. So yeah, it was just a trios match in the main event. They were Hyper Misawa was protesting against something. I'm not quite sure against what. I don't know if you caught that.
No, I also didn't bother translating it. I just didn't care. I'm sorry, Tim. So.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that was going on really quick. There's really nothing else to say about it.
It was cute.
Yeah,
but
it was cute.
For those that don't know, Haruna
cute,
Neko,
sentimental retirement. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Haruna Neko is like she cosplays as a cat in TJPW. So she has like a lot of scratchy offense and her demeanor is very cat-like. So for example, I think at one point Mahiro Kiryu, I think, was being like really nice to her, and Kiryu Haruna Neko just sort of scratches her eyes out and then rolls her up to win that title. So the way she did it was very cat-like as well, I guess. She didn't give a fuck that she was getting complimented. She just wanted the shiny belt. So I think she did play her cat role very well over the years.
She did. Right. Next we got Sendai Girls.
Right.
Disclaimer here. The show from the 27th only aired today, I think. And I wasn't able to check it out, but I did watch the one from the 28th. So you want to go over that first?
Yes. 27th? So spoilers, I guess, if you care. On the 27th, the opener was Miku Kanai and Yurika Oka. So Yurika Oka won. I actually have no notes for this. It was an okay match. And then the second match was Chi-Chi, Hiroyu Matsumoto, and Zones against Miyuki, Takase, Yuna, and Yura Suzuki. So Chi-Chi and Zones don't normally team up a lot with each other anymore because they're sort of career rivals in EVO. So this was one of those rare moments where they did team up. But really, this match was all about Matsumoto trying to get Yuna over. I think it's probably the most impressed in Yuna I've been because she was quite a good underdog in this match and Matsumoto was just kind of wailing on her. So overall, I'd say this match exceeded my expectations. And then we have Dash Chisako and Rain Leverkusen against Lena Cross and Veni. This match was really fucking good, actually. So you should probably go back and watch
Sounds
this one.
Good.
So I thought this would be your usual Sendai Girls undercard 10-minute match, and I would have no notes. But for some reason, it just fucking rocked. I don't know. Lena Cross and Veni are an amazing tag team. Like, I kind of want to fantasy book them in AEW's tag team tournament. I know it's sort of like a meme, like wanting everyone to go to AEW. I don't mean like full time. I just mean in that tag team tournament, just to get eyes on them, so other people can see how awesome they are. So I'm watching Veni this Friday in Eve in London. So I can't wait for that.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
Yeah, this match was really good. Rain Leverkusen was great. So everyone just went hard. And yeah, they put full effort. It's probably like one of the best 11-minute tag matches in Sendai Girls in a few months, I guess. Maybe in 2025. So I really like this one. And then we had Mika Iwata against Spike Nishimura as a singles match. So Spike Nishimura recently signed with Sendai Girls it was announced 24th of August at Zebio Arena. She's a US independent wrestler. So she was trained in New England Pro Wrestling. She did MMA in college, but then she decided to take up wrestling during the pandemic. She said that her inspiration is Orange Cassidy when she did an interview with Queen of the Indies. And she also spoke about how Starlight Kid is her dream match and that any wrestler wanting to take the profession seriously should have a long-term goal to go to Japan, which I thought was interesting. So she also said she wasn't expecting to end up there that early because she did the 6th Jaja Uma tournament in 2024, and now she's back there and fully signed and doing the 7th one. she's one of the few, Western wrestlers to be signed to a Joshi promotion. So just for that fact, I'm kind of really rooting for her. And
yeah, sounds great.
She did well in this match with Miko Iwata. So I think you can tell she's still a bit green because she's only been wrestling since 2023. So she needs a bit more experience, which I'm sure she'll learn in the under Maiko Satomura's training. So I thought this was a good match. Then
sounds great.
The main event, Sendai Girls World Tag Team Championship match between Team 200 kg, Chihiro Hashimoto and Yu against Minami and Ryu Mizunami. I think Ryu Mizunami is one of your favorite wrestlers, right, Tim?
Absolutely. Love her.
Thought so. So this was one of the better Minami performances I think I've seen, actually. So I go hot and cold on Minami a lot because she's been doing this for 8 years. I think we spoke about it on the last podcast. She can clearly go. She sold great in this match, and it felt like a proper babyface in peril sort of match. So I wish I saw this main event Minami way more often. Yu and Mizunami tried their best to bring this match down, but Hashimoto and Minami just wouldn't let them, and Hashimoto and Minami were top tier together at this whole match. And in the end, Team 200 kg retained the titles. But yeah, also another really good match.
Cool. Yeah, sounds great.
All right, and then the 28th. So you did watch this one.
I did, yes.
Thoughts?
Should I start?
Go for it, yeah.
Right, we had the opener was Yuna vs. Chi-Chi. When do you think those two debuted? I think you know that, right?
Oh yeah. Chi-Chi debuted after Yuna, right?
Not quite.
Oh, okay.
But it's close.
It's a few months though.
Chi-Chi has been wrestling for 5 months longer.
Oh, okay.
The reason why I say this is because like this match was like it wasn't even a title match for Yuna's title. It was just it felt like a veteran just coming in and rolling over Yuna real quick in 7 minutes and leaving.
Yeah.
Yuna is the title holder still, right, for the future, but what's it called in
it's the junior world title or something.
Junior, yeah. I just thought that was kind of strange from a booking perspective. I mean, Gigi really feels and looks and wrestles way more like confident or more like a star, I guess, than Yuna does. So it really felt like a bigger person, like a person who's already too big for like the junior title.
Yeah, she's completely eclipsed it. Yeah,
came in there, and that maybe shouldn't be the case if she's only been wrestling 5 months longer. And I was also wondering a bit about the booking, from the booking perspective, why you would do that to your junior title holder.
Maiko doesn't give a fuck.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was a bit confused there at the end when Chi-Chi pinned her. I was like, title change? What the hell? I'm so close to the tournament, they're changing the title, but it just wasn't even on the line. It was just nothing.
You've seen comments about Maiko's booking, right? Like, I think she's not an amazing booker, but you don't watch Sendai Girls for the booking. You watch it because they put together really good matches.
That's very true, yeah. What were your thoughts on the match?
I have no notes.
All right, moving on. Next was, where do we have it? A 3-way match between Dash Chisako, Shin Sakura Hirota, and Hyura Suzuki.
Don't even ask me, Tim.
I don't have much on this as well. At one point, like, Shin Sakura Hirota was about to be counted out. I think all 3 were on the mat. Am I remember this correctly? And Sakura was oh shit! At one point, like the ring announcer, like the ring announcer outside the ring who counts the 10 count, right, for people to be counted out. Like Sakura was so funny in trying to get up during the 10 count that the ring announcer corpsed and started to laugh while doing the 10 count. That cracked me up. That was the only really note I had on this match. Dash won in the end. Anyway, moving on. Miku Kanai vs Yurika Oka. Do you have anything on this one?
I thought this was a really fun match.
Yes.
I thought so. This was a continuation of the singles match from the previous night. There was some funny. So Miku exploded out the gate in this match because she had just lost literally the day before. She exploded out the gate with a drop kick. She tried the what are we calling it? Senka style flash pin. I noted it down. It's like
Yeah, Eric is right. The shoot pin.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wrote shoot pinny thing.
Yeah, I don't know what we need a name for it, but whatever. So she tried that. Yurika had to go outside of the ring to regain her composure, but Miku won't let her back in the ring. So
That was so funny.
Yurika just fucking gives up, leaves the venue, but then she
Yeah.
comes sprinting down the ramp and jumps into the ring, and then hits the Sareee style basement drop kick on Miku, which I'm sure Miku is taking a few of those in training with Sareee. And yeah, and then Yurika won with the Fisherman Buster. I thought this was a really good, fun match.
Yeah. Did Yurika Oka not kick out at one point? Did you see that?
Oh, yeah,
Something
twice.
happened there.
So twice.
Was it twice even?
Yeah. So
Yeah. I only noticed it once, I think. But
So they traded back and forth cradles, and Yurika definitely didn't kick out of one of them, and she struggled to like roll Miku over into her own cradle. And then later on in the match, Miku had the jackknife pin, and Yurika definitely didn't kick out again. So
I
she
meant
was,
the jackknife one. Yeah.
yeah.
Was she maybe a bit loopy? I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah.
That was a bit crazy, but yeah, I just think Miku Kanai has this one of a kind like way to sell her struggle during these submission holds and spots, and just crazy way to connect to the audience, and she's great. Didn't win though, unfortunately. Anyway, next up we had Rain Leverkusen and Spike Nishikawa against
Nishimura.
Wait, why did I write Ishikawa in my...
I don't know why you wrote Ishikawa.
That's Spike Nishimura against Team 200 kg, Chiri Hashimoto and you. What are your thoughts?
I didn't really have any thoughts on this match, to be honest. I had thoughts about the post-match when Sareee Yamaoka came out to challenge Hashimoto, which we've already spoken about. And then, Hashimoto accepts the challenge, and then Sareee tries a double leg takedown. But then Hashimoto
that
stuffs it.
Suplex she gave it, or whatever throw what that was.
Yeah, she stuffs the takedown and then suplexes Sareee. Like, what the fuck are you doing? I love that.
That was really good. Yeah. I don't have much on the match either, to be honest.
I think Hashimoto is in the WXW 16 Karat Gold tournament. I think she spoke briefly about that. I don't have the translations, but I think I heard it slightly. So I think she's like the only, like the first either woman or woman from Japan in that tournament or something like that. I could be making that up, but I think that's a thing.
That's cool. They had the spot to open the match, like when they shook hands. I thought that was funny.
Yeah,
like they shook hands and it's too dumb to explain. I'm gonna cut this off. I can't explain it. It was just funny. Whatever. Next we got the wonderful Vanny and Lena Cross again.
So fucking good.
This time they defeated actually Red Energy. Wait, Mika Iwata lost?
Whoa! Oh, stop the fucking press.
They defeated Red Energy and which is Mika Iwata and Miyuki Takase, in a pretty great match. I really enjoyed this one. Yeah, I mean it's Vanny. It's
another day,
Mika
another
Iwata.
Good Vanny match.
Yes. It's crazy.
Well, Lena
so
Cross.
Good.
Sorry, just give Lena Cross credit.
Lena Cross was everyone in this match was stellar. Sorry.
Yeah, no, for sure. And Lena Cross has just been good every single Sendai Girls appearance this year. So she sort of said goodbye to Senjo after the match. So I don't know if she's been picked up by WWE or AEW, or if she's just going to do indies in America. But that is sad if true.
It is, yeah. I heard so far, I think Chris Gannon said that she's only doing indies, having indie dates planned for now.
Yeah.
But she wrestled for AW and TNA this year. I really hope it's not TNA. If she gets signed somewhere, that would be a waste.
Yep.
But
that's just like signing with WWE, isn't it?
Essentially, it is. Yeah. It is like WWE's third development brand or whatever. I don't know.
Yep.
It is, yeah, but it is crazy how good she actually is. And anyone not picking her up is missing something for sure.
Agree. So this was the first time Red Energy were teaming since 3rd of August. They had been one of my top tag teams of the year, along with Astronauts, but the Astronauts slowed down when Takuya Nomura got injured. So and Red Energy just stopped getting featured or used because Takase was like kind of in a holding pattern while Iwata was challenging for the singles belt. So I was really happy to see them back, and they were as good as ever. So
absolutely, the moonsault assault at the end was so good. Anyway, hell of a match. We talked about Lena saying goodbye, I guess. Right. Then we are back to the indie zone with Eric.
Yeah. Well, I thought, did you want to start off with the Sareee NORI?
I can lead through. Sareee NORI was outside of indie zone.
It's kind of the indie zone, yeah.
I mean, it's Kishu Pro, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's as indie as it gets.
Maybe that's more on the indie side for this one. Don't really know. I watched this right before we recorded, so I didn't take many notes either. But I thought it was an excellent match. I think NORI really gets it. I think she's excellent. I'm surprised she's not popping up more on other shows. I don't want Kishio to lose their big star, but if she got signed anywhere, I wouldn't be super unhappy.
LLPW.
Oh, she's LLPW.
Yeah, she's with LLPW,
right,
but I don't know why they had this on Kishio. I guess they just booked them. They do have a Joshi division, but they've only got like one wrestler in there, and they started it this year, so they don't have like a big Joshi division. But yeah, LLPW is who she's with. But she's starting to pick up more outside dates this year. She's done a few Diana shows, well, maybe one exactly, and now she's doing this thing with Sareee. She was on SSPW, Strong Style Pro Wrestling, and on that show she did face Sareee as well. So I think that's what led to this match. On the most recent LLPW show in September, she NORI and Takako Inoue faced, I think it was Chi-Chi and Yumiko Hotta, who are obviously closely associated with Sareee. So all of that built up to this singles match in Kyushu. But I do think it was sort of like a preview in a way. So I don't know if you noticed, but the way Sareee won the match, it was just with her diving double foot stomp. So she did not even like attempt Uranagi, which kind of makes me think she's leaving something in the tank deliberately. So I would not be surprised if NORI ended up on like a Sareeism show either in November or another one down the line.
Right. Yeah. I just thought like I watched some of her performances in Marigold last year, and I was really impressed by her. I remember being really impressed by her. Like, she was the standout for me in that Marigold tournament, basically. From what I watched, I didn't watch a lot of the matches from their Dreamstar last year, but what I saw of her, I always was hella impressed, and like this just multiplied in this performance. I thought like she has really something. Like she really understands well how to like just how to be a good pro wrestler. I think she sells great. She does these like crazy kick combos, but like for example in this one, Sareee has been working over her back the entire time with like every submission in the book, and NORI came back with these like great spinning kicks, but she managed to somehow like sell her back during these great looking spinning kicks, and was kind of really impressive looking. And I was really like, what I found cool about this match too was they were in this like big gym basically. It was like during daytime, and they had like basically one handheld camera, and they had like one of those crazy like pendulum stabilizer things for the camera, and the camera guy was just walking around the ring the entire time, like sometimes like in counter direction to the action, so it looked like a really cool fight scene for a movie or something at some points. Like I really liked how they filmed this basically, and I think stuff like that just like should be done more by like bigger companies instead of just like doing 18 camera cuts per second or whatever.
This production was really good. Yeah,
and it's free on YouTube. Everyone should check it out, I think. What were your thoughts?
I thought it was a pretty good match, but like I said, it felt like a preview, so they obviously didn't go that hard. Like I think it was like a 10-minute match, and NORI didn't get as much in as she normally would, and Sareee finished her off quite easily. So it was like a preview, so don't go in expecting like match of the year level stuff, but you can see how good these two are and what level of match they could put on if they did go all out. So you mentioned two of the things that NORI is really good at, which is selling and kicks, because she's a former MMA fighter. The third thing she's really good at is she has a really insanely good like babyface fire. So I call that like the comeback, whatever you want to say. She fires up really well, and she gets the whole crowd on her side. She couldn't really do that here. Kyushu Pro is a more family oriented promotion, so then if you notice, there's like a lot of kids in the audience because they let kids in for free. So that's why Sareee was getting a lot of chance, because she's just more well known, and NORI doesn't really have that national profile. But if you watch like the LPW shows, NORI is like the top babyface, obviously, like it's basically her promotion. So if they had this same match in LPW, you would have seen that fire up, and it would have been much better. It would have been really cool. So that was the only things I know.
Right.
But yeah, you hit two of the things she's really good at perfectly. She's a really good seller, which is maybe not usual for like an MMA fighter, I think. She's just naturally good at selling. And
that's what I thought, yeah. Compared to like other MMA fighter going pro wrestlers, she had that down really well.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. I also thought like Sareee, I think she took a chance to be like a beloved baby face again when she walked out to all these kids.
Yeah.
Went to every one of them with a big smile. Like,
yeah, she was like, finally, I can just be nice for once. And she was like laughing with the referee before the match.
Exactly, yeah. All right. Shall we move on then?
Yep. Should we do the indie zone?
Oh, yeah, let's go.
All right. So we start off with Miyuki Takase's 8th anniversary. So shout out to Chris G for alerting me that Takase finally put a stream up 7 days before the event. I checked a few weeks ago, but there was nothing, so I just assumed it was going to be a DVD, because that's what these wrestlers normally do. But I have to remember, some wrestlers just don't sort stuff out until the last minute, so I need to check like a few days before the event. But thank you, Chris, for that. So we opened up with Chi-Chi and Mika Iwata versus Haruka Umasaki and Misa Kagura. So Umasaki and Kagura are part of the same faction in Diana, and Umasaki is Diana's champion. And obviously we've spoken a lot about Chi-Chi and Mika Iwata. This was Chi-Chi's second ever time facing Kagura. The other time was in Seedling. At one point, I think she asked Iwata if she wanted to do Kagura's like pig boar charge into the corner, and Iwata absolutely refused. So Chi-Chi did it, but then she forearmed Iwata for not doing it with her. So this was
I was
kind of
wondering what happened there, but that explains it, yeah.
Yeah, so this was kind of like a fun opener. It wasn't too serious. Like, Iwata refused to take her shirt off. She was quite heated in this match, so she was playing the straight man, straight woman, I guess. And Iwata just pinned Kagura after the kick combo. So, fun tag, nothing crazy. Yeah. It was just an opener to warm up the crowd.
I was gonna ask you if she was so upset because they stole her gear or something.
Oh, I just assumed she didn't want to work hard because it was the fucking opener.
I don't know, she came into the ring in her shirt and was like super pissed off and like just screamed at the other two.
Yeah, I thought it was funny because
maybe
it's her partner's anniversary show. It's like,
yeah, what she's so upset about.
Yeah.
Then my conclusion was maybe they stole her gear and that's why she has to fight in a t-shirt. But it's fine.
Did you notice? So I found out what happens when a ring isn't mic'd properly. I feel so. Joshi wrestling is so fucking different if you can't hear the forearms and the kicks. Like, it was really noticeable to me. So you could obviously hear the worked ones, like where they slapped their thigh, like that was kind of audible. But the forearms and the kicks that made contact with the chest, like, made no sound. I don't know if you noticed that, but for me, it unironically altered my viewing experience.
I didn't really notice that, actually. No.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Maybe it's just because that's one of my main draws for Joshi. So, you know, when people talk about like frilly skirts and all that. So one of the main draws for Joshi for me is how fucking hard they hit each other. So I was expecting to like hear the forearms thudding, and I just didn't. But
yeah. To be perfectly like open with everyone, I forgot about this show, and I just arrived home earlier today after work and just threw it on in a hurry while preparing food and just had it on the side. So I was just kind of like semi-watching it and not really. So, and I skipped a few things too to make it, in time to the recording. So I did watch it, but not really the most, with the most attention, I guess.
Has anyone ever told you would be a horrible grifter? You're so bad at grifting. Just say you watched it and you thought it was awesome.
Because I'm too honest, or what?
Yeah, you're far too honest. You know, you gotta grift further. No, I'm joking. Obviously, don't grift. That's why I love you, because you're honest. So great. After that, we. I love you, Tim. Great. You know, that's a perfect Tim response. Let's move on. So then we had Hiroyu Matsumoto versus Nagisa Nozaki versus Zones. So Matsumoto and Zones are in a team together in Oz Academy called Goju Zones Union alongside Rina Yamashita. So that's why Matsumoto and Zones sort of shook hands politely, and then they sort of left Nagisa hanging, which was funny. Nagisa doesn't play her Darkness Revolution character on the indies. She's actually kind of over on the indies, and she's well liked on all of the non-Marigold shows I've seen her on. So I kind of enjoyed her in this match. But yeah, the bit was Zones and Matsumoto teaming up on Nagisa, and then Nagisa sort of convinces Matsumoto to actually attack Zones, and then Matsumoto tapped out Zones with a headlock. I don't know if that has a name. I think it's one of her finishers, but I just call it a headlock because it's a headlock. So
yeah, I think I like Nozaki better as well when I see her on the indies compared to Marigold, to be honest.
She's fun in Seedling as well. So
yeah, this match was to me like just three Amazons kind of going at it. Three really strong women.
Oh, okay. Okay. I wasn't sure if you were referring to a wrestler actually called Amazon who's in Seedling right now.
No,
I'll talk about her later. That was really funny. There's literally a wrestler called Amazon in Seedling, and she's quite terrible, and she's now back after a long time away. Anyway, I'll get to that later. Then we had the first, I think, good match. Sorry, were you going to say something?
I think I kind of skipped the next one, but
that's fine. So it was Kakeru Sakaguchi and Miku Aono from Marigold versus Miyuki Takase.
No, I watched it. Of course I watched it. I skipped the one after that. Yeah,
okay. Miyuki Takase and Tei Honma. So I thought this was a very good match. The crowd was super hot for this, and they worked hard. This is basically an Actress Girls law match. So Kakeru and Miku were a team in Actress Girls, and they won the tag team titles from Spice App, Maiko Ozaki and Tei Honma, before the titles were discontinued. So that's why Miku looked so happy facing Honma, because the last time they actually faced each other was that tag team title match in 2021. That's the last time they wrestled. So Miku was super happy to be wrestling Tei Honma just before her retirement. So yeah, total Actress Girls match for the background of that, and that's why it was booked. So Miku and Takase sort of, they tried taking each other's heads off with lariats. So I know if it was, again, for me, if it was mic'd up properly, they would have been crackling, because that's normally what Miku's lariats are like. They have really stiff ones. And same with Takase, actually. If you ever watch a Miyuki Takase match, she lariats the fuck out of people, and it's awesome. Oh, yeah. So I think, so the main reason I like this match was, one, for the stiffness. So like Miku and Honma went into a forearm battle. I only know the forearms were so hard because of how the crowd were reacting, if you heard them. But during the battle, Honma walks over to Takase to like amp her up, because she needs someone, because they actually hurt, so she needed to be amped up before returning to Miku and fuck her up some more. Miku returned fire, but with kicks instead, so she broke up the forearm battle and kicked her instead, and then Miku won with a Styles Clash onto Tei Honma. And then afterwards, which was the best part of the match, was Miku and Tei Honma held hands after the match. They were both exhausted. It was really cute. They were all chatting and hugging each other in the ring afterwards. It was like a fucking high school reunion. I loved it.
Yeah, those kicks from Miku to Miyuki at the end were pretty crazy, I thought.
She trains them a lot.
Really, really good match, I thought, yeah.
Yeah, if you look at like her socials, she's like always like training like karate and stuff like that. So yeah, Miku good.
Was happy to see Tei Honma again too.
Yeah. So you skipped this next match.
I kind of skipped through it.
Oh my god. Okay, so you know how I've had a thing against Shin Sakura Hirota?
Mm-hmm.
This match was...
that was funny. I did see her being... Yeah, you explained it. So.
Yeah, okay. So the match was Chihiro Hashimoto and you, Team 200kg, against Hibiscus Me and Kyusei Ninja Ranmaru, which is like a comedy duo based in either Osaka or Okinawa. I think one of them wrestles in right now. So I'm not 100% on this, but I think me and Ranmaru have a connection to Takase. She used to appear on the Ranmaru shows when Takase was in Actress Girls with other actress wrestlers, and the three have had a lot of bouts together in Wave, and Takase was doing a lot of Wave when she was in Actress Girls. So I think they're just friends, basically. If someone knows the deeper lore, then I guess let us know. But the real reason I think Takase booked this match is because both teams have Bon Jovi entrance music. And I know what you're going to say, Tim. Eric, do you even know who Bon Jovi is? And yes, I do. I have heard this music before. So Team 200kg's music is "It's My Life." I did have to Google the name of it, but I've heard the song. And then me and Renmaru's music. So they come out to "You Give Love a Bad Name," so they perform it. Mm-hmm. So this was like the battle of the Bon Jovi lovers. I think that's why Takase booked this, but I'm not sure. But
pretty great.
Yeah, but Renmaru and me are a comedy act. I'm not exposed to them often, but every now and again I see them pop up. But yeah, this was a fucking DDT-coded nonsense match. So what happened was Chihiro Hashimoto pinned Renmaru like in under a minute with the last ride. And then Renmaru took the mic, and then Maiko Satomura's music starts playing. But it's fucking Shin Maiko Satomura. So I was like, oh, fuck me. It's Sakura Hirose coming to destroy my lovely show that I was enjoying. But Hashimoto took the mic and she was like, hey, you've got 3 people now. We've only got 2. What's going on? We need 1 more. So Hashimoto brings out the fucking shoot headbutt machine, Big Shuji Ishikawa, and he's wearing a Team 333kg shirt because they've teamed. Popped me. Yeah, they've teamed together before, so that's like an established trio. Yeah, it's an established trio at this point. I think maybe 2 other times or something. Not often, but when I was looking at this, I was like, "There's a bit of a fucking mismatch here." Team 333kg against Ranmura, Hibiscus, me, and fucking Shin Sakura Hirota, but. So what happens next? Yeah, come.
I think he's slimming himself down there. Do you think he cheated on his weight?
Well, 133 kgs? That's probably...
Yeah.
You think he's more than 133 kg?
I would have guessed he was heavier than that. Maybe.
Do you know how much 133 kilos?
Maybe he just looked so huge next to the Joshi.
Yeah, that's true. What, you think he's like 150?
He looked like he was like 2'10" tall. And like...
Yeah, but that's because...
Big as a fridge.
The Joshis are like really short, right?
That's true.
Like, what's Hashimoto's actual height? It's got to be like... Okay.
I have no idea.
I'm going to guess 5'4". Wait, you have to guess. What are you guessing?
I don't know. I don't know English units.
Okay, give centimeters.
I guess 162.
Okay, not bad. She's 158 centimeters, so 5'2".
Okay. Yeah.
So, wait.
I guess every time I see him, he's kind of wrestling with Joshi. Is that possible? I think the last time I saw him, he was against Matsumoto on which show was that? That was on the anniversary show from Mayuki.
Oh yeah.
That was a really cool match actually between him and Matsumoto.
So he is 6'5", 195 centimeters. So I guess you're not that far off. He is fucking tall.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. So basically, what happens in this? So they restart the match. Now it's a 6-man. And have you ever seen Hashimoto do comedy before?
Not really, I guess.
Well,
and I skipped this one. Oh no.
So there's a reason she doesn't do comedy because she's fucking terrible. Like, as in, like she's corpsing the entire way through the whole match, and it's fucking awesome. So at one point, Ranmaru grabs her breasts from behind Hashimoto's, and Hashimoto has like she's trying to act disgusted, but she can't, so she's just laughing the whole time. So that was really cool. And then the key spot here is Hibiscus Me goes to break up a pin that Hashimoto has on Ranmaru, but Hashimoto moves out the way. So then Hibiscus sort of like falls on top of Ranmaru. They start arguing, and during the argument, they get closer and closer to each other's faces, and then they give each other a little peck on the lips at the end of the argument. So then Hashimoto is just standing there looking at them, and Hashimoto shouts at them to cut it out, and she basically tells them, "That's not how you do it. We'll show you how it's done." And then Yu gets in the ring, and then Yu and Hashimoto are arguing. And then at the end of the argument, Yu pecks Hashimoto on the lips. And both Hashimoto and Yu are completely embarrassed, and Hashimoto cannot stop corpsing. She's laughing the entire way through. And then, you know what happens next? The whole crowd basically start willing on Shuji Ishikawa and Shin Sakura to start arguing, because, you know, everyone else did it. And then Shuji Ishikawa's just looking around, and then they both get in the ring, they start arguing, and then Sakura sort of like puckers her lips, ready for Ishikawa to kiss her. And Ishikawa's like, I'm not fucking kissing you. And then the whole crowd are willing it on, and then he fucking kisses her. But they don't like let go, and they're just continuing to kiss each other while music plays the whole time, while the whole crowd is like chanting "Kissu, kissu," and it's just awesome. And they're both laughing the whole time. And then for some reason, Shuji Ishikawa does karaoke. I don't know why, but I was having a lot of fun. I'm used to seeing him shoot headbutt people, and now he's got a mic doing cute karaoke. And then it ended when they gave a 200 kg splash, and then Shuji did a diving foot stomp on Shin Maiko. 10 stars.
Yeah, I unfortunately had to skip something to make it work today with the Sareee and NORI match as well. So yeah, maybe I'm gonna go back and watch this one. Sounds really fun. Maybe while I'm editing this podcast later. So I was a bit disillusioned, I guess, about my scales here. I'm seeing here 130 kg is his official like weight, and that's 268 pounds, 86 pounds.
Yeah.
So I always thought kg to pounds was about always doubled up. So I would have thought 130 kgs would be about 260 pounds.
It's like 2.2.
And I thought he must be like 280 to 300 pounds. So I was right with my pound guess, but I thought that would translate to more like 150 kg instead of 130. So yeah, maybe 130 is actually really correct.
Well, I'm glad we scientifically determined that their stable name is in fact correct. So
absolutely.
Cool. And then, so the main event was Itsuki Aoki, Miyuki Takase, and Ryo Mizunami against Rina Yamashita, Utami Hayashishita, and Veni. So I don't know the link between Utami and Takase. Maybe she was just available, but
I was wondering about that. But
yeah, I'm not sure. But so the other who she was teaming with is Max Voltage, which was their stable in Sealing a few years ago. So they came out with the fourth member of that stable, one of the GOATs, one of the greatest of all time, one of the best wrestlers ever. It was Tim's favorite of all time, Nanae Takahashi.
Absolutely.
So they did the entrance song and the dance, and there was a lot of passion injection in this match, which I thought, you know, upped it a few notches, a few stars for that. I'm only joking. It was only a little passion injection. But this was your usual anniversary produce show main event where the heels beat up the babyface, in this case Takase, for a long time until she has a comeback. That's what they do in all of these produce show main events. The format always works for these shows, has like 100% hit rate. When you see these teams, the partners of whoever is the anniversary show is for, they don't get any time. So that was Itsuki Aoki and Ryo Mizunami on this one. They just get their signature stuff in and then they just go away. So that's what happened here. But you couldn't ask for like 3 better bullies or heels for Takase than Rina Yamashita, Utami, and Veni. So I thought this was a really fucking good match.
Yeah, I think this was specifically booked for me.
Yeah.
With big Ryo Mitsunami in there, Nanae on the outside. It was great.
I watched it and I was like, Tim is gonna hate this.
I wanted to ask you, how long do you think this Nanae retirement sticks?
Wait, you think she's gonna come out of retirement?
She's already out there.
You were thinking
what looks like wrestling gear on the outside, like doing spots with people.
You couldn't even concentrate on the match because you were like, that fucking Nanae. There she is in the back. Look at her just having fun. That's what you were thinking the whole time.
No, I was just thinking she's already doing spots again. And it looks like she has new gear. She has new gear colors. She has a new hair color. I think she's coming back soon.
Well, hopefully she comes back in Stardom.
Fuck you.
Yeah, all right. So then there was a Rei Utami and Mizunami interaction because they, you know, Utami rarely does indie dates. I don't know if they're doing more from Marigold because this, you know, Mika was on the show as well. Rei Aseto is doing Sendai Girls. They brought in Hashimoto for the Grand Destiny show at Marigold, so I don't know if there's more if they're letting them do more bookings. But anyway, Veni and Itsuki were so good together. I cannot put over Itsuki Aoki enough. She is so well-rounded. She's got a cool fucking look, and she can go.
Absolutely. She surprises me every time I see her, to be honest.
I love her. There was a really sick combo when Yamashita and Vayne did a double super kick to Takase into a nasty German suplex from Utami. I think Vayne has the best elbow in Joshi right now. I'm trying to think about that.
Possible.
It's fucking Takeshita level, her elbow. She blasted Takase with one, and then Yamashita landed the impact, which is like Momo Watanabe's B-Driver. Is it called B-Driver? No, that's Takeshita's is called B-Driver. What's Momo's called? Peach something. Peach Driver? I don't forget that. But Itsuki and Mizunami break up the pin, and then Yamashita goes for the splash mounting, and then hits it for the win. And then they all said some nice words to each other, but I don't have any translations, but you can imagine what it's like. It's an anniversary show. She rolled over to Vayne, and Vayne hates doing promos. She's on record as hating it. Takase forced her to speak, so she spoke a few words and then passed the mic over. And yeah, really cute event. I like the show.
Yes. I think the one you meant is Peach Thunder.
No, is
It's
it?
either Peach Thunder or Peach Sunrise. It's one of them.
Peach Thunder is the super finisher, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Wasn't
no,
that
I'm talking about the one where she drops them like on their neck, like through the legs.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
She casts a B-Driver as well, I think.
Oh, does she? The same as Takeshita. Isn't?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
no, is Takeshita's like the bastard driver or something?
I don't even remember Takeshita doing that much, to be honest.
Oh, maybe he does a different variation of it. We sound like such fucking nerds right now, by the way. All right, should we move on?
Possible.
Or do you have any thoughts on the show?
I wanted to say I'm being a gimmick. I did actually really enjoy this match. Like the parts of it that I really like. I of course love Vayne. I like Tsuki Aoki every time I see her. I think Rina Yamashita is really good.
She's
lately
really
too.
fucking good. I don't know why people. She has like a bad reputation for being washed or something. It's like some wrestlers.
I think
people keep saying are washed and they're totally not washed. like Takumi Iroha.
I think the problem with Rina Yamashita is that she did a lot of GCW dates, and I think people automatically hate everything associated with GCW. So I think just by the virtue of being there, I think she was their main champ for a while too.
Right. Yeah, I don't watch
And
GCW.
just for that, people are basically having a negative opinion on her, as I'm pretty sure the main reason for it. And she did a lot of like just garbage wrestling there. I could imagine that she wasn't the greatest there, because it's also like when a lot of Joshi go to America for these indie shows, they don't really give everything they got. I think it's fair to say. So maybe she didn't look great when she was in GCW. I never really watched her there. But yeah, lately she's absolutely killing it, for sure.
Yep. Cool. Anything else?
Nope, you can move on.
All right. We have some previews. Hey, we're not bad on time, to be honest. Thought this would be much worse. Well, it depends how long this takes.
I mean, yeah.
All right. So we got a few big shows, a few Korakuen halls. So let's start off with Seedling, who have a big show in Kawasaki. So they've started running shows there every 6 months or so at Colts Kawasaki, which is their highest attending show so far of 2025. There's some Stardom representation on the card, which has actually been the case for a lot of the year anyway, but before it was mostly hate. They're against the rookies. So it's Celine Mizora against Yuna Mizumori. So Mizora is 20. She has a judo background. She debuted in June against Koguma. And then it's Saya Aida versus Yuki Funa. Yuki Funa is 28. She has a softball background. She debuted in March, but she got injured on that debut match, and she only came back recently. So Saya Aida and Yuna Mizumori on this card against the rookies. Then we have Hanako Nakamori and Misa Kagura against Honori Hana and Unagi Sayaka. So the storyline here is Unagi is trying to help Seed's homegrown talent find themselves, like level up, whatever you want to call it. Hanako Nakamori is Pure J's ace, so I'm kind of happy to see her on the Seedling card. She's a really good worker, probably their best worker. And Misa Kagura we speak about every single week. She's doing the rounds, every single promotion she can work in, and she's great. Then we have alright, here it is, the Amazon. So we have I think Seedling are fucking with me booking this match. So Beyond the Sea tag team title match, Miyu Shirai and Samira Natsu against Amazon and Yuri. I honestly think it's a rib.
Match,
It's a fucking rib on me. So I probably haven't ever spoken about it, but I really am not into Yuri. I just don't think she's a very good wrestler. She's I don't like. It's the only reference point I think you might have that you've seen her, but she was the one that had the match with Chi-Chi where Chi-Chi got injured on the T-Heart show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but
I saw that for sure.
In general, I just think she has too many bad matches. When I watched her in the Wave tournament, I also hated her match there. Amazon is a tall Western wrestler. I think she's British. She's signed with Seedling, I think, or I don't know what's going on there, but her last match was in 2023. She came back last show, and it was bad. It was not good. She was like, it was like a high-speed match, and she was slow motion. It was just not good at all. She like tripped over at one point and had to regain her footing. It was just not good. She's not a good wrestler. And after Amazon won that match, she picked up Yuri and then carried her out of the room. And I was like, fuck me. They're going to come back later as a tag team, aren't they? And then she comes back at the end of the show and challenges for the tag titles. I was like, fuck you. Mia Shirai is basically the only person I kind of like in this match. And she's just fine. I don't care about her that much. But yeah, this match is like the plague to me. But I don't know why Yuri is Amazon's plaything or whatever, or what the storyline is. It's like she's her little, plaything is basically it. Anyway, let's move on from that.
Yes.
So the main event is like a party match. It's an 8-woman tag match. My special little guy, Ayame Sasamura, Mira Koga, Ryu Mizunami, one of the best of all time, Yumiko Hotta, against Hazuki, Jaguar Yokota, Makoto, and Miku Kanai. So it's just a party match. But again, Hazuki is making more appearances in indie shows, so she's fucking gonzo. All right. That's Seedling. Then we have Ice Ribbon's Korakuen Hall show, which is coming up on the 26th of October, which has had some matches announced. The first one, so Ice Ribbon's rookie that they're putting like the most resources into right now is Karari Wakana. She's been having like a 7-match. I don't know if it's actually going to be 7 matches. We'll see. But she's having like a trial of matches against freelancers like Haruka Umasaki, Kiara Yoneyama. I think Makoto was maybe in there. But Rina Yamashita was another one. So now she's facing Maya Yukihi, which Maya has been taking it kind of easy since she injured her left arm in 2024. And she returned briefly for an anniversary show, which you mentioned earlier. But she's mostly just been doing like comedy stuff and barely bumping. She returned in July for like a produce show with Risa Sera, because it's Risa Sera's retirement. And since then, she's wrestled in like Tenru Project, 666, 666, but also Marigold. But watching her work, like she still has some explosiveness left in her strikes, but she's like trying not to bump on that left arm. I think she's still a bit scared of re-injuring it. So I guess I'm interested to see if she works full pelt here or what she does. But so yeah, that's one singles match. And then there's, interestingly, so Minami Katsu and Misa Kagura won their tag team titles, the International Ribbon tag team titles. On the last show, I spoke about the overbooked mess. So they will be defending against Prime Link, which is Ibuki Hoshi, and Kaho Matsushita, which is like Ice Ribbon's. They're like the heart of Ice Ribbon. So they're the ones training people in the dojo. They've already been singles champions before. They're solid workers. Ibuki is like a chop machine. She's a hard hitter. Kaho is sort of a bit harder to describe in a sentence. She's just good at the fundamentals, I guess. And she's the one that does most of the training of the younger talent. And on top of that tag match, it's also going to be Ibuki Hoshi against Minami Katsu for the singles title. So both Minami Katsu and Ibuki Hoshi are pulling double duty on the show, which should be quite interesting. We've seen it go wrong sometimes, wrestlers doing multiple matches, but sometimes it kind of works because they already have like the blood pumping, they got some adrenaline going, and they can have better matches. So I guess we'll see which one this will be.
All right, awesome.
Okay, then we move on to Diana on the 5th of October at Korakuen Hall. So there is a debut of Anna, trainee Anna. So I'm guessing she might get given a new name, which is what normally happens. She'll be debuting against Rina Amakura. Anna failed her protest twice, and then she passed on the third go just a few weeks ago. So I'm pretty sure this is the fastest protest to debut time length ever. So protest meaning test to become a professional. I always have to say that. It's not a protest. But yeah, I think this is the shortest length ever. It was only a couple of weeks that she just passed, so we'll see how she does. There's a special singles match between Hazuki and Shanshan. I love Shanshan, Taiwanese wrestler. She's fucking awesome. This will be a really fun match if they let Shanshan get some offense in. It's Hazuki's Diana debut. So, again, why would you do Diana and Seed? So, I'm expecting her to pop up in Ice Ribbon anytime soon, but I'm very excited for that singles match. Nanami Hatano versus Yuna Manase. Don't need to say much. Mayu Miyazaki and Jaguar Yokota are in a three-way tag team. Then the other interesting match is the main event is the tag team championship match, which is Ayaka Sato and Debbie Kaito defending against Chibuki, which is Haruka Umisaki and Unagi Sayaka. They said they wouldn't team together anymore, so I think this might be their last match together. So I don't know if it's going to be a thing where they might possibly retire with the titles. Well, not retire, as in relinquish them if they win, or if that was just bullshit. I have no idea. But they did say they would not team together after this, so we'll see.
Who is it with Unagi?
Haruka Umisaki, who's the Diana champion.
Oh, okay. Is there any reason why they didn't want to team
They
anymore?
just said they did the typical thing you do when you want to break up your team, which is it's more fun to face you than be with you. So that reason is given a lot in promotions. So, yeah. We'll see. And then we have Actress Girls. So I was going to do a whole background, but I'm not going to do that. So I'll just say what the card is and what to look forward to. So they have
Maybe we can do it when we review it next week.
Yeah, let's do that instead. So they have a new rookie debuting, which is Kane Yufuku, and she'll be teaming with another rookie, Yukina Uehara, who's a pretty good rookie, nice kicks. So Kana will be debuting against Spice App, which is Maika Ozaki and Tei Honma. So that will be their return to promotion before Honma's retirement. So, yep, she's doing as many bucket list items as possible. They are first-gen Actress Girls wrestlers as well, so that's cool. And then there's the King of Ring Entertainment title. Sakura Mizushima is defending against Maru. That should be awesome. Sakura's been having great tag matches. She's a very good worker. And Maru is like the heartbeat of the promotion. She's an amazing heel. She's very entertaining. There's the tag team title match between Amaterasu, which is Act and Mari. So Act is Act Yasukawa from the Stardom days. She's still Act. She doesn't take many bumps, as you may have heard. Mari is awesome, though. She trains a lot of the wrestlers. They will be defending against Midsummer Sea Breeze, which is Nagisa Shiitsuki and Natsuki as well. So Natsuki is one of the best workers in the promotion who's been touted to go to Stardom. So I think she, based on her booking, I think this might be her last big title match. And I do kind of agree with the theory that she's on the way out. So we'll see.
Has she been on like New Blood shows before or something?
No, she hasn't. Not that I'm aware of. She was at the Natsupoi anniversary show. She was in one of the Actress Girls matches.
Oh, okay.
And she also faced Natsupoi and Sarianu on the Korakuen Hall show, Actress Girls Korakuen Hall show a few weeks ago. So.
Oh shit! I still haven't checked it out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was something on my list. Okay.
Cool. And then the main event is the Actress Girls title. Marina Sahara, which is one of the best champions in wrestling today, defending against Yui Tensho. So Yui Tensho was in Actress 5 faction with Marina Sahara. Now she's unaffiliated. She's sort of like a tweener, I guess. So that would be a fun match. If you want to know more about Actress Girls, because I haven't given much of a background, there's some really good podcasts out there. So the Actress Stage podcast is pretty good with Velke and Sondra. So you can check that out, or you can listen to me maybe review the show next week or whenever. Cool. And then, finally, Stardom New Blood. So this will just be a quick one, so because we've spoken about Stardom a lot. So on the 4th of October, New Blood 24, Emma Shima versus Kikyo Furusawa. Cool. Fukugan Def and Yurihime and Yuki Mashiro in a three-way. So Yuki Mashiro is former Ice Ribbon champion. She did a recent stint in CMLL, and now she's a freelancer. She's not really lighting the scene up, though, like Misa Kagura. But yeah, we'll see what she's... I've watched a few other matches. She's been a lot in Wave. Nothing really to shout about. She's fine, but we'll see what Fukugan Def does in that match comedy-wise. So. Then we have Echika Miyavi. Yeah, Miyavi, who works for PPP Tokyo, and Riara, who works for PPP Tokyo. They will be going up against Rian and Waka Tsukiyama. Miyavi faced Hanako recently, and Riara was in Marigold for a bit last year, so... We'll see. Miyavi's sort of one of those people that has a good look, so we'll see what she's like on the Stardom show. Then we have Hina versus Kyoka Katatsu. That should be fun.
Oh yeah.
I'm expecting some judo / karate clashing. So we'll see.
yeah.
The semi-main event, I'm kind of pumped for. Akira Kurigane and Bazilla versus Soy and Zones. So, I mean, they say,
cool.
I mean, in Japanese, it's probably pronounced Zones, right? But I just say Zones, whatever. So, yeah, Bazilla versus Soy and Zones is going to be fucking mental. I'm really happy that Bazilla's doing New Blood shows. I wasn't expecting that at all. That's is really cool.
Fun,
yeah.
For sure.
And then the main event is Runigami versus Tei Honma, which we've spoken about before. So, that's it.
Is this not the show where I thought the New Blood Tag Team Championships are gonna defend it soon too?
Apparently not.
Apparently not. Okay. I was hoping they're gonna change hands soon because
who's got that? Rice and Bread, Hanako and Wako?
As far as I'm aware, they still got it. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe on the next one.
Need 2 belts. I don't think.
No, double belt. There's 3 New Blood shows in October, so it's probably one of the other ones.
Yeah, probably the other one. Yeah. Cool. Do you want to do the match of the week real quick? Is it anything interesting for you that we didn't talk about yet?
I want to talk about the runner-up that I have. Well, maybe it's probably the winner actually. So.
I probably know what's coming, but
all right, guess it. What is it then, Tim?
Is it involving a doll?
Ah, fuck.
It's Hirata versus Yoshihiko, right?
Yes, Kazuki Hirata versus Yoshihiko was my match of the week. It was fucking awesome. Loved everything about it. This is Joshi'ing around, so I won't talk much about it. But if you're into any comedy whatsoever in wrestling, you need to watch that match. It's one person putting on the comedy performance of a lifetime. You will not believe how he has a match with an inanimate object that feels like a real wrestling match. I don't think anyone else will ever be able to have a better match with an inanimate object than what Kazuki Hirata did. So check it out for that. I also loved the match after that when Yuki Ueno cashed in on Hirata. Spoilers. That match was fucking awesome too. It basically mirrored Hirata cashing in on Ueno weeks ago. Love that as well. And then I also loved the match right after that, which was when Kazuma Sumi cashed in on Yuki Ueno unsuccessfully. Just DDT had an amazing show last weekend in Korakuen Hall. So if you're looking to branch out from Joshi, I recommend that.
I was planning on checking it out, yeah. I have already listened to a review of it and it sounded really fun. I wanted to check it out anyway, but haven't had the time yet, or like the muse, I guess, motivation. I don't know. Yeah, for me, it's just simply Saya and Azumi. Yeah. Once again, my match of the week is one I've already talked about extensively, so I don't have much to say.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't watch too much wrestling this past week, other than the stuff we talked about, so that was obviously going to be the best match I've seen.
Cool. Well, I just spoke for 20 minutes. Is that...
Do you feel bad when you...
Yeah, sometimes I
like nothing to say.
No. I don't feel bad when you have nothing to say. I feel bad that listeners have to listen to me talk about indie matches for 20 minutes. And I don't know how to make it interesting or entertaining, or if it is.
I just need to get into these promotions more so we can have more of a back and forth.
Yeah.
I try to bring myself in whenever I can, but it's like...
It's too much wrestling though.
There's so many different services I have to sign up to at some point, but
yeah,
we're gonna figure something out.
I think the whole point is to just give a flavor of everything, and if something sounds good, then jump into it. So
I mean, I think for next week, for example, we barely have any bigger promotion, right? I think Stardom doesn't have a single show. Or is that
promotions are on a break, kind of. There's like house show stuff, like. A lot of promotions in Japan are sort of like taking it chill. All Japan is off for like 2 weeks, so yeah, there's a lot of not much wrestling.
So I'm gonna have to get into some of these. AWG on October 1st. That's something I'm gonna have to check out.
Maybe one of the
Seedling show is gonna be in our...
Or Diana.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna show... You should probably watch Shizuki and Shan on the Diana Korakuen Hall show, because I think I need to show you Shan, because she's really not well known because she's a Taiwanese wrestler and she only does Diana, and I don't think anyone watches Diana. So I want you to see if she's as good as I think she is, or if I'm just smoking crack. That'd be good. Some validation, I guess.
So I should watch AWG, Diana, and Seedling for next week.
Only a couple of matches. Don't watch the fucking Amazon tag team title match in Seedling.
Okay. For the rest of the show, we're gonna figure something out. Maybe some big news break. Maybe we're gonna do a Joshi'ing around or something.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Cool. All right, should we wrap it up?
Absolutely. Yeah, that was it. Thank you for doing another. Thank you so much for doing another episode with me. Please check out the Social Suplex newsletter. It should really come out this week.
Don't even. Why do you even try to guess the date? It'll be out when it.
I stopped myself.
Yeah,
okay.
It'll be out when it's out. It's really hard doing a newsletter that covers every fucking promotion or like as many promotions in the world as possible. But you know,
Yes.
we do our best, and it's a hobby. We're not getting paid for it, right? So,
right. And meanwhile, check out the previous issues. Check out everything. We got the archives updated. It's all there for you to read a lot of stuff about wrestling and listen to Joshi'ing around. And thanks, Eric.
Thank you. And support Minami Katsu. Thank you. Bye.
Absolutely. Bye. I guess.